Monday evening, Outlaw Radio. Welcome to the show. Live from the scene of one of the greatest natural disasters we've seen in a very long time. Live from Northwest Milwaukee, adjacent to the disaster. Untouched. By the grace of God, untouched. No water. Studio still popping. Carpet ain't wet. God is good. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the host of Outlaw Radio, the mouthpiece of the movement, militant with a microphone, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer. How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Everybody okay? How are you affected by this natural disaster? How you feel about it? Sometimes you have to ask the victims of a disaster how they feel about it instead of coming to your own conclusion. Welcome to the show, Mondays and Wednesdays. Phone number 262-202-5131. 262-202-5131. I don't know if my fingers was able to keep up with me, but that's the number. Chat room pops. He walks in the chat room early. He said, Walks World. What it do, my brother? I have another guest. Well, he's not a guest. I don't know why I said guest. He's my co-host. Mr. Carter, what it do this evening, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm peaceful. I'm peaceful through all this shit. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor, the real OG. Hey, mama, there go the seatmost, man. Somebody stop me when I'm lying.
That's what's up. That's what's up. If you have an opportunity to patronize a black business, please do so. I say black people make great entrepreneurs, but they're not businesses yet. We're not corporate yet. We are entrepreneurial as hell. We gotta grow. We have to become employers. Instead of complaining about people not having jobs, we have to provide jobs. That's the next step, and that's the reason why you jump in the game in the first place. Welcome to the show, my brother. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
Hey, it's Outlaw Radio Live, a.k.a. Messy Monday. If you want some bullshit, call in, right? If you want to call a man sitting next to the man, Piccolo player's a motherfucker. Call him that. Yes, foundational Black American stand-up, 414 stand-up. This is what we do. Mondays, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, until whenever we choose to cut the machine off, quite simply because we own the machine. So we go after false narratives, right? We go after things that may be said about us, but not to us. And especially when it comes to black men. This is what this show is all about. Let me see. Earl Henning in the chat room earlier said, water in the house, us black people, my brothers. Okay. So Kamar, we had this past weekend what is now being labeled as the 1,000-year flood. This is the official name of it. This is a situation where atmospheric conditions got together and existed at the same damn time. So from a meteorological perspective, storm systems from different areas that usually flow one way at a certain speed, storm systems that normally don't grow, don't expand historically, all stopped at the same time over the beautiful city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Just for reference to anybody who's checking, the gist of this is there is no city in this country that has the capacity to deal with the amount of rainwater that fell on Milwaukee County and other places too. I live on the northwest side of Milwaukee. We got more water than anybody else within an hour span. 14 and a half inches of rain fell on the northwest side of Milwaukee in 30 minutes. This has never happened before, Kamar. This is unprecedented. We just lived through an historical event. Okay? As a result, the flooding in this city was absolutely ridiculous. Thank God that there was not a long list of casualties. Okay, let's get that out. Let's get that out front, Kamar. There's not a long list of casualties. So if you lost someone via this flood, prayers and condolences to you. But a lot, there was, it wasn't Hurricane Katrina, but it was what they said was the most intense flood in terms of how it happened ever in the history of this country. I want to say that. The fact that you here and I'm here is good. God is good. Let's say that. Now, I happen to sit outside in the rain in the summer. I'm weird like that. I love thunderstorms, just chilling in my mind, right? That's my form of meditation. I've never seen the amount and force of rain for as long as it rained, as hard as it rained ever. I'm damn near a storm chaser. I'm sitting there for 45 minutes like this shit's not letting up. I literally got it. As soon as it just slowed down a little bit, I went in the house and went to sleep. I had no clue the rest of the city was flooded out. Okay. I just want to get my point. So where you at with this? Where were you at? What do you think about this? Let's go. Let's talk about the 1,000-year flood in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I think it was a tremendous amount of rain. Like, I never seen that much that fast in my life either, right? A lot of people saying that the infrastructure of the city, the way they take in the water system, it couldn't handle that much water at one time. I'm sure it couldn't. However, I'm sure all the trash every motherfucker didn't help none either. You know what I'm saying? Because see, the next morning everybody was unclean the sewer system. They drain pipes outside their house and shit. You know, I think we added to it. You know what I mean? As far as the damage, you know what I mean? With all the litter everywhere. The water come up, but then that drain is sucking in. It's also sucking in all that bullshit, all that debris, all that shit that we let that never got picked up from the winter. I blame some of that on us, man, and I gotta hold some of the accountability on us. I know all of us don't litter, but those of us that do that shit, I hold some of that on them.
Let me go to the chat room. National Black Panther Party of Norfolk, Virginia. Black Power. Absolutely, my brother. It's a foundational Black American platform. You're more than welcome here. The power is in the hands of the people. I say it all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the original Black Panther Party out in Virginia with Mike Payne, who are descendants of the original Black Panther Party of Milwaukee. Power. Yeah, the original Black Panther Party of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out to the commander, right? Okay. Beverly Williams, she said, "Hey, gentlemen, my sister, how are you doing? How are you doing?" Earl Henning said shit. Just randomly, he said shit. Come on. The Black Panther Party in Norfolk said the poles are shifting and the monsoon rains are moving around. Okay, so let's get back to what my brother says about the trash. If you do your research and your due diligence, the city of Milwaukee has officially said that the accumulation of trash that blocks off some of the sewer grates, or if you will, was a contributing factor. But the reason this happened was because of the meteorological situation. Now, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And first, I want to say shout out to all the people, including my brother Montreal Kane, who went out and jumped in the streets and they were cleaning off the sewer tops, and you saw the water that had collected in those areas dissipate. It dissipated. But I want to break this down in a way that people can digest it. Milwaukee has a deep tunnel system. This is a very complicated metro sewage system. But once again, the report is there's no city in this country, no city that would have been able to handle this natural event. I'm not saying people shouldn't start cleaning up the community. I get on people all the time for throwing goddamn garbage in the street, right? Like what kind of pride do you have of your neighborhood if you are willing to throw trash? And you first of all, I want to see where you live at. I hate to see where you live at. But I do think that it's a contributing factor, but I feel like people place this on us in an unfair way. Like saying, because you niggas won't throw your garbage away, the city flooded. Well, you know, the Milwaukee River and the Menominee River flooded in a way that they never have before, ever. And it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with what happened on Burleigh or Center or any ghetto anywhere. Right. And Kumar, let's be honest, we're not the only people who throw garbage out, because the South Side has trash on the street too. This is not an argument against you. This is an argument against people who ran with sensationalism without asking themselves, why did this really happen? It didn't happen because of garbage in the street.
Hey, when I made my post, I said a lot of the problem, right? Not have been a lot of the problem, but it was some.
It was a contributing factor.
I may have pushed it too far, but I'll get some funny factor in there too. You know what I'm saying?
Understand.
And you know what I mean? But when I made that post, I did understand that, you know what I mean, it was too much water for the sewers to get through like it's on its own. But I also understood that if the sewers hadn't have been clogged up, the water would have continuously been going. You know what I mean? Like, it have flooded, it went down on its own too. I feel like.
Overwhelmed means overwhelmed, though, my brother. So check this out.
So does that mean it?
Well, now I'm just say you take all the trash out of the city, right? Say all those. Say in a perfect world, all those grates were clear of trash. This would have still happened.
Definitely, but it wouldn't have been as bad.
It would have been the same.
You think so?
When you see, so we let's talk about where the city is and how it's set up. We're on Lake Michigan. A lot of people don't take into account that the Milwaukee River runs through the middle of the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County, right? There's the Fox River. There's the Menominee River. So Lake Michigan feeds off of tributaries and small rivers, right? It's just where we're at. Okay. There's nothing even equal to the amount of precipitation that fell historically. There's nothing matches this, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm sure trash and clutter and a bunch of other shit had something to do with it. Like we said, it take more than one person to fuck up, right? But I feel like people unfairly put that on black people. Like we're the only ones who have trash in our streets. And I also feel like that the most important thing here is understanding that nature is nature. You can't prepare for it. That we don't have an answer to no natural disaster, tornadoes, earthquakes, forest fires. Matter of fact, we've been living under a haze of smoke from Canadian forest fires for about 2 weeks now. So I guess my thing would be, I think it's two different arguments as well, Kumar, because if you want to say in our neighborhoods and residential areas where you saw people with water like up their steps, you know what I'm saying? Like people in the hood, like Capitol, my beloved Capitol, look like Lake Michigan, right? And so maybe some of the basements, this is where I'm going. Some of the basements in the hood wouldn't have flooded if it wasn't for the garbage, but it still would have flooded. This would have still happened. It would have still happened.
Well, that's my point. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been so bad because it would have been water consistently moving through the system. It just would have been moving slower. It wouldn't have been no whole bunch of standstill.
Well, when those rivers overflow, I mean, did you see the state fair footage? Did you see what happened at state fair?
Yeah.
It looked like Hurricane Katrina, right? Okay.
Yeah,
now, check this out. At State Fair, you know what they're doing the entire time the State Fair is going on? They're putting raw sewage into the sewers because they got cows, ducks, pigs, goats. You know, they have animals. Where you think all that manure is going? It's going into the drains. State Fair, it looked like Hurricane Katrina, the way the water knocked the door down.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want this to be pent on us, like you dirty motherfuckers.
No, I ain't trying to pin it. I ain't pinning it on us. What I'm doing is I'm holding our people accountable for our shit. our
which
part.
should be
You know what
cleaning
I
shit
mean?
up in the first
And
place.
all the other communities, like I'm sure it's different ways they can hold themselves accountable. But like we got a continuing problem about litter and trash. This is why I made a point of, you know what I'm saying? And this is one reason why it was as bad as it was in our community. Like on the news, I saw a bunch of people. It was some white people on the outskirts of Milwaukee. There was a lot of people in the hood who basements was flooded. You know what I'm saying? To the top. I mean, to the stairs and shit. And I just think it wouldn't have been. You dig what I'm saying?
In Wauwatosa and West Dallas, they show underground parking garages that had 10 feet of water, cars submerged over the tops.
Yeah. Hey, look, and then with those, like it's like that in Milwaukee with a bunch of apartments too, garages, but I understand why, because they underground garages. Water gonna run right down the ramp into the garage. Now, what happened if they sewers down there ain't working right?
The system that we have failed. Right. It failed because the atmosphere overwhelmed it. And maybe not you, Kamar. Maybe not you. But I saw a lot of motherfuckers on Facebook today victim shaming black people as if we were the cause of this flood because we throw trash in the street in the ghetto. And my thing was, it's just not true. It's just like, if you want to call out litter in the community, I'm with you, Kamar. I've done block cleanups. I've done neighborhood cleanups. Okay. Walking on foot with the Panthers with garbage bags and children that we paid $20 a piece to. Let's do it from 8th Street to Capitol Drive on Atkinson. I understand it's trash. Why is this in the street? But in this situation, I felt like it was bigger than that. It was bigger than trash. And once again, shout out to the brothers. And there's a consortium of brothers here, regardless of what people think, who will get out into the streets and get their hands dirty. I shout out to them. Like I said, the brother Montreal Kane, I seen Vaughn Mays with Comforce. They're going around there. They're willing to pump people, get rid of, because they ain't arguing about why it happened. They just getting to the meat. Like, let's just fix the shit. Let's help people fix it. Right? Like, we ain't gonna argue about that. So that's dope. Now, Ewok says the inner city of Milwaukee sewage system is designed to flood the hoods first. You can actually look it up. That's actually not true. That's not true. We have a deep tunnel system and we have gates that are assigned to suburban areas. And sometimes when what they try to do is divert all wastewater to Lake Michigan. So we had a flood in 2010. Come on, I don't know if you remember this. It was similar, where the water it was mainly. I was in it. I was driving through it in an old pickup truck. But it was a case of them needing to open up the gates to release the sewage gates to release water into Lake Michigan, and it did cause some flooding disproportionately in some areas that are inhabited by black people. But the city of Milwaukee, the inner city, is not designed to flood the hoods first. That's not true, Ernest. It's not true. It's not true. That's tinfoil hat shit, Kamar. Come on. Because with Milwaukee, this is the biggest tax revenue generator in this state. Why would you, if you flood the hood of Milwaukee, you flood downtown, you flood the expressway, you flood this is the main vein. There's no conspiracy against us like that. I don't believe it. Do you believe that? I mean, you're welcome to your opinion. You believe that the hood is designed to flood first?
Well, I don't know if it's a conspiracy on that end, but I know on the end, it is a conspiracy against the hood.
Maybe not that one. Okay. Well, I'll say this. Now, if you talk about the most underserved neighborhoods,
and the only reason because like we just said, it was for everybody outside of Milwaukee, in the hood. You know what I mean?
It was everywhere.
It was flooded everywhere.
It was everywhere. And so now, if you live in an older neighborhood with underserved real estate, like you go into a neighborhood where they still got all of the old houses and all, like we talk about this with the lead pipe laterals, when Robert Miranda was here. Maybe their sewage systems are set up because they're older, but it's not like they said, well, we're going to kill the niggas with a flood. Like, that's not something they work in and say, we're going to make sure they die first if it's a flood. I don't believe so. If you believe that, man, welcome to Outlaw Radio. Welcome to Outlaw Radio.
Hey, maybe it could be meant to damage neighborhoods even more.
I just think it's underdeveloped.
I'm just saying if that was true.
If what's right, right. Well, if my auntie had
I could
balls,
see it trying to damage our hoods and houses even more, you know what I mean, to get it here. Like maybe that's a part of gentrification or something.
Maybe, but I feel like if black people put as much energy as moving ahead as they do in making up reasons why we held back, we'd be okay. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, no doubt. There's been conspiracies against our people. I mean, come on, we played a precarious position in this country's development, but come on, we give away more power than they take from us because of our mental conditioning. You can't think positive. You can't be positive. I'm never letting what the white man does to us take my ability to think positively away. A white man can't rob me of my optimism, Kamar. I'm sorry.
That's your power, man. That's your superpower.
Oh, they my people.
That's your. No, I said that's your superpower.
Oh, I thought you said that's your people, Kev.
No, I said that's your superpower, man. Being able to think like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's what keeping your lines of communication with the higher power open. You know, that's how you keep the manifestations coming.
Faith of a mustard seed. Ernest Walker said in the north side sits lower on the map. Ernest, you got to supply me with some geographical information. You're saying the north side. Do you actually know how big the north side of Milwaukee is? It doesn't all sit lower. It doesn't. That's just not true. I can drive to the top of Fond du Lac and see all the way downtown. And I'm not looking up. I'm looking down. So if everything was lower, I'd be looking up. I mean, correct me. I don't know. The opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at. Earl Henning said,
"Okay, because the hood is more so the east side. When you start talking about where it get lower at, I think
that's the land that's on the lake. That's the closest to the lake.
That's what I'm saying. That would be the east side, I think."
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm not from the east side.
I'm just saying, because to me it seemed like that would be lower. Like you said, if you on side way up Fond du Lac, you could see all the way downtown. But if you downtown, see all the way up Fond du Lac, so I think it's more east. East is lower, not the north side.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I'm agreeing with you because that's what you just said.
No, it's all good. I'm in such a mood tonight that it's all good. Like thank you. I was just responding to Ernest because he said it's lower. The north side, period, is lower. That's what he said. I don't know the context of his statement, so I'm sure he'll call and say, "No, okay, but motherfucker, let me tell you something. Stop white-splaining." It's all good. It's all good. Brendan Peterson said, "I think even if it kept moving, no trash blocking, it was too much rain coming down at once, and the city isn't built to handle all that water."
Oh, yeah, it was still going to be a flood. It was still going to be a flood.
And motherfuckers,
I'm looking at families that I know of who was flooded. All the stuff I saw, the basements was flooded was black folks, and they was the ones doing the shit. I'm just saying, like, I think the trash may have been a strong contributing factor to that was done, because a lot of people, like I say, because like water wasn't continuously moving, unplug that shit for the water to go down in the street.
It's an established, documented fact that the city of Milwaukee has attributed some of the trash as a factor. So I'm not disagreeing with you. Not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is that had there not been trash, it would have still been the same thing.
Exactly. I'm saying the same thing. It's still, I ain't saying it would have been the same, like the water would have continued moving instead of just all the standstills.
Hold on.
It would have been moving slower.
Mama Jenkins in the chat room, Kamar, she says, "Good evening, my Outlaw family." She said, "I'm gonna be messy." When Mama Jenkins started off saying she finna be messy, y'all buckle y'all seatbelts. She said, I've heard what the mayor and county executive said about this flooding. Kev, I live by the creek, and in 2000 we had a flood. But this is what happened when the city is not clearing the streets or creek. Lincoln Creek has not been cleaned since the young man lost his life. Okay.
Hey,
She said, I complain all the damn time about the streets and the damn trash as a major issue. And when you look at the damage from this flooding, we are not the major cause. Ewok is in the chat room. He says, I'm not saying it's a racist thing, bro. It's because of the design. Earl Henning says, shit. This is Ernest responding to me. He said, Kev, you misrepresented my comment real bad, bro. All right, whatever. Okay, I thought I dealt with.
She made a point though, because like when time you seen a street sweeper cleaning the leaves and shit out. When was the last time you seen going down? I remember when we was growing up, we used to always see them motherfuckers going up and down the street.
Dion, hold on. Did I not zig? Okay, the phone should be on, Dion. He said, is the phone on? Earl Henning said, open the gate before the water goes up. He said, I see you hell bent on proving me wrong tonight. You really think I got an individual agenda against you, Ewok? Seriously? Listen, bro, you made a comment.
You got a hell bent.
Right. You made a comment. I responded to the comment. I'm not hell bent. I don't have no, I'm a show Ewok up. Hell no. Come on. If I don't agree with what you said, I don't agree with what you said. It's not that I have a personal agenda against anyone, because I don't. He said the lake ain't fucking flooding. The rivers, see, I guess this is one of the things where you have to be in Milwaukee to understand what happened. No, Lake Michigan didn't flood. All the major rivers that run through our communities flooded. It didn't have to flood. That water didn't reach Lake Michigan, because those waterways are not accustomed to handling that much fluid. So no, if Lake Michigan had a flooded, downtown would be destroyed, right? It is the rivers, the Milwaukee River, the Menominee River, what's the other one? It's the third one. Because they all flooded. So Kamar, like you said, you saw black people basements. White people in Wauwatosa, West Dallas, Oconomowoc, Cedarburg were wiped out. No, the basement wasn't flooded. The house was flooded. Okay.
Yeah. And
so that's why I'm saying, if we want to just focus in on the effects that it had on Milwaukee, let's do that. Let's talk about people who are living in houses that should, by all intents and purposes, be protected against this via the sewage system. And like you said, this factor of, and Mama Jenkins said, so even if it is about the trash, it ain't on us, because we pay people to drive street sweepers and clean the shit up.
I don't remember the last time I seen one.
Thank you. Brenda Peters said,
if I'm correct, back in 2010, that was the issue.
It was. I thought it was
leaves and shit.
In 2010, the last flood. I don't know if it was 2010. I just remember this massive flood, right? And the answer, what they explained, and shout out to the homie Westside Zeladon, because he lives on the floodplain, which is by Lincoln Creekway, right? And his basement, I went and got hot water heaters for the whole neighborhood damn near. That was a situation where the gates, the deep tunnel system, they basically spared them because they felt like the near north side was in closer proximity to the lake, so it had a better chance of getting there or whatever. That's what the way they explained. That's the way he explained it to me. So he always blamed the city. Zeladon blamed the city, and they went through a whole situation where their insurance didn't even cover it, so they had to get grants. So he met with aldermen and all this kind of stuff, and he said it was the city of Milwaukee's fault because of how they handled the gates in the deep tunnel system. That's what he said. She said, this is Brenda Peters. She said most of Hillside should have been okay. If Lake Michigan ever flood, because Lake Michigan has flooded before, but if it flooded, Kamar, all that's gone. that's it's on a hill. It is hillside. Maybe they'll be spared because they are sitting up higher than downtown. I don't know. Kerry Walker Jones said drains plugged. Okay. I don't know that. I don't know that Oconomowoc, Wauwatosa, or West Allis was affected by our drains not being plugged. Maybe they trashed it. Like I said, it was shit from State Fair and garbage, and maybe they the reason. Instead of us, I just hate people blaming us for every damn thing. Earl said, "Nah, if they open the gate early, then they do." Okay. Mama Jenkins said, Kev, this city system could not handle that much rain that fast. I was driving home in that rain, and the windshield wipers didn't even work. I was sitting outside, Kamar. I couldn't see my back door. I was sitting in my garage. You've been in my house. You know the garage ain't that far from the back door. I couldn't even see it. I was like,
that was one of the down rains. You can't see shit in the rain.
I couldn't. So I do this all the time. I sit outside when it's raining on purpose because I love to sit and chill when it's a thunderstorm. Like I said, normally there's a pause. It lets up a little bit. Then I run my big ass in the house. This shit didn't let up for 45 minutes to an hour. It was raining hard, Kamar. I was sitting there like, dude, this is getting a little scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is getting a little wild. And when it just lightened up a little bit, I went in the house. But it was the most unusual thing. I've never seen it rain that hard, that long. Okay. Ewok said, Kev, I'm laughing, dude. I ain't tripping. I know you ain't. I hope you ain't. Brenda Fox River. Thank you, Brenda Peterson. The Fox River is the other one. Earl Henny said, fuck it, poor people. Blame it on poor people. Mama Jenkins said, look at Hart Park. Them white folks lost a lot of shit too. I'm surprised some of these raggedy ass houses didn't fall down. Hart Park is destroyed. Like their whole field that I coached on that field. My son played on that field. It's destroyed. And it had turf, like, you know, not AstroTurf, but the new turf. And it's destroyed. Wauwatosa got hit, man. Wauwatosa got hit hard, which is one. And Timmerman Airfield was completely submerged. That is literally 2 minutes away from my house, which made it even that much more unbelievable that we had next to nothing. Like nothing. God is good. Dion is on the phone. Dion, what's popping, man?
Oh, nothing. Just sitting back. Cause yeah, I sure hit you. Like, bro, I ain't get that much though, bro. It looked like it, but my shit was like less than probably an inch, you know. Like I'm still trying to get the water from down there because it gotta flow to the sink. Flow to the drain and shit. But I don't know but you know, a lot of people don't understand, like you just said though, you know what I'm saying? No, regardless if the sewer system was open or whatever, that amount of rain coming down that fast in that short amount of time was just overwhelming. Because I was coming from Delafield, and I was on 94 East, and boy, you should have seen them cars pulling over on the underpass. I'm good because I'm a truck driver. So long as I seen the white lines, I was straight though. But I knew it was going to be some damage. But my whole thing is, for one, I ain't really suffered no damage, you know, to be honest. You know, this ain't the first time. Like, if we have a bad snowstorm, but I guess, you know, with the cracks and shit down there by the foundation, water seeps into my basement a little bit, but not too much.
Do you have a sump pump?
I do have a sump pump. I got to call my warranty people because, you know, when I bought this house, I got a warranty that I pay $50 for every month. But water was coming out the sump pump.
Oh.
Water was shooting out the sump pump. You know what I'm saying? And normally I hear it kick on, but I didn't hear it kick on. But my whole thing is, for one, because like you said, Kev, I've seen people whose living rooms was underwater. Like the little shit that I got going on and other people got going on, man, that shit, I've seen people's living rooms. Like you said, West Allis, whole underground parking. What's going to happen is, I'm wondering, is Tony Evers going to declare a state of emergency? And is the guy that's sitting in the White House, is he going to help?
Well,
I was on Facebook arguing with white folks yesterday about that shit.
The county executive did declare, David Crowley did declare a state of emergency.
But I don't know if his weight carry much.
Right. So there's no national declaration of disaster or nothing, right? So and you know, I don't know what Trump is doing in terms of dealing with FEMA. FEMA will come in here. I think DC Crowley can get FEMA in here. I don't know if they're free to really utilize whatever financial resources they still have, because like you said, I don't know what little buddy in the White House is doing. He's manny as fuck. But you're entirely correct. But now I would blame what happened to you on the garbage in the street. With your basement, now I would blame that on the sewage
I
systems
started
over
to
here.
go out there and look at that drain too.
Okay.
Yeah, but the drain didn't seem like it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you said, Kev, it was so much water coming down. And then my house kind of, how can I say, it sits where the water ain't going. But see, if the water run off to the side, it's gonna run in the next door neighbor basement. Now he had the stuff pumping it out. He was like, "You get a lot." I was like, "No, I got like centimeters. I really ain't gonna even lie. I can't even say an inch." It was like I wore my Crocs down there, pushing the water to the drain. You know what I'm saying? Now I got my little wet vac down there. You know what I'm saying? Going. I need to go check on that. But yeah. So how my house sit where the water instead of flowing away, it flows towards my house.
You live on the floodplain. You live in a floodplain because y'all have a creekway that runs through over there. That what is that on Silver Spring or was that Villard? There's a creekway.
Yeah, I'm on 79th. I'm in the 5800 block of North 79th.
But that creekway though, if you're sitting anywhere in close proximity of a creekway, you live basically what they define as the floodplain. Now I didn't even, Kamar, did you have any water at all, or you was just like sucker free like us? Like, are we good?
No, I was good.
Okay. God, thank God, right? Mama Jenkins in the chat room. Actually, this is Brenda Peterson. She said I was flooding. It was flooding all the way to Menominee Falls. And dude, listen, we went out to eat in Menominee Falls. We were in Menominee Falls, right? And my wife said it's crazy how things work because we got done eating, and she said, because it was raining all day lightly. She said, if the roads are bad, I'm going to take the long way home. If not, I'm just going to ski skirt and hit Appleton. And it was raining, but it wasn't too bad. So we literally got out of Menominee Falls just in time. You know what I'm saying? Where the road collapsed and our Lily Road. No, we literally got out of there just in time. That's why I'm like, dude, God is amazing. Because y'all come on home, right? And we had doggy bags. So I got to eat later on that night. I'm always happy about that. Mama Jenkins said they also said the casino parking lot. Yeah, I seen cars underwater at Potawatomi. So that's downtown, but that's in close proximity to the Milwaukee River. And it flooded. Not Lake Michigan, the Milwaukee River. People don't think that's a real waterway, Kamar. That's a major waterway, right? A lot of water goes through the Milwaukee River. Brendan Peterson said Trump not helping Milwaukee. He probably won't even mention Milwaukee. I think Trump is going to be like, y'all fix it. Y'all got a Democratic governor and a Democratic mayor in Milwaukee. Fix that shit. That's how big partisan politics is right now. Dion said, I'll call you. Well, Dion's on the phone right now. So check this out. We'll get back to the flood. And shout out, listen, once again, I cannot say this enough times. If you got up off your horse after seeing this damage and went outside and said, I'm cleaning this off, shout out to you. You part of the solution, right? You're part of the solution. Yeah. So anything, when I say that wasn't the cause, the major cause of it, I don't say that to diminish what you did. You know what I mean? And if you out here right now going to helping people clear their basements, I seen people helping other people get pumps, shop vacs, and yeah, because that water damage, there could be mold. So you got to do more than just clean the water up. You got to do a cleaning process. And there's people who need help because a lot of us keep a lot of shit in our basement. So a lot of people need that shit moved because that can contribute to mold forming in your house as well. So shout out to anybody out there who's doing the work. The next thing that was controversial, which I thought would be the lead story here tonight, but the flood kind of trumped all that, was the 17-year-old brother who decided that he was going to run from the popo. Horrific crash. Something, once again, Kamar, we haven't seen the likes of this, where you see a car crash and it's on fire like this. This is a Hollywood explosion, right? Like this is, and he was burned alive. And I seen a couple police officers, emergency responders were hurt trying to get to him. You could just tell when you was watching the footage that they were like, it's traumatizing for them because they could probably hear his screams or whatever. and they were trying to get him out, but they couldn't get him out. So I seen a lot of people say that's what the fuck he gets. Okay. First of all, he's 17 years old. That's no excuse for him to do what he did, because in this situation, he killed himself, right? But he could have took out more than himself. He could have hit innocent people. We've had just as recently as last week where an innocent person was killed by one of our youngsters on a high speed, losing control of the car. One time we were talking about what happens to our young people in the midst of committing egregious offenses. And I think Kamar was the one who said that's called occupational hazard. Right? You knew the job was dangerous when you took it. Right?
Yep.
Once again, I don't want to see nobody die. And I surely don't want to see a 17-year-old brother who got his whole life in front of him perish. But is this not a lesson to our youngsters that, hey, this can be you if you choose to indulge in these kind of activities? I want to ask that question first to anybody listening.
This is how you learn occupational hazards. You see what's going on around you. You know what I mean? You young folks need to look at that shit. You know what I mean? Tell your kids to take a look at that. I mean, have a discussion with them. This is the type of shit that happen. You out here, stars, if you're driving crazy and shit like that, this can happen. Or you could kill somebody else and lose your life that way and go to the joint. You know what I mean? Whenever you look at it, it's all bad. You know what I mean? And we got to use these as teaching moments, teaching tools, man. You know, once it happened, it's bad that it happened. I don't wish that on nobody. I wish he could have learned his lesson a better way. You know what I mean? And really got it.
Graciously said.
Occupation. You know what I'm saying? If you out here drinking and driving, shit, you be in an accident for drinking and driving.
If you out here robbing and stealing and killing,
you could possibly get killed yourself.
You live by the gun, you die by the gun. It doesn't make me, it doesn't make me say, oh, that's what he get. It doesn't make me careless and callous, but I feel less, and this is probably a personal thing, I feel less sympathetic when you are engaged in something that may have occupational hazards attached to it, right? So you might be the greatest kid in the world. You run up in a bank, you got your gun out, you robbing it, and the security guard or somebody else shoots you down. I feel bad for your loss. But nigga, what was you doing? What was you doing? Dion, are you still with us? Okay, he might have zapped out for a minute.
It's in the joint doing life because they made a bad decision. One bad decision.
12 seconds take 25 years.
Yeah.
Now the second part of this is it time for the Milwaukee Police Department to say, let's stop chasing them? And I'm gonna tell you why I came to this conclusion, but I want to go to my chat room first. Shabaka St. Cour, how you doing out there in Las Vegas? He said Trump says Washington D.C. police can do whatever the hell they want. Totalitarian society on the way. We're gonna get to Trump taking over D.C. Mama Jenkins said, look, call the motherfuckers to come sweep the streets in your neighborhoods and call a fire department to open the hydrants up every now and then to make sure they work. Worry the fuck out of them. You know, we had flood insurance, but after 2010, the insurance canceled us and we had to apply for a higher rate. But FYI, if you got sewage coverage, all your insurance if you have sewage coverage, call your insurance company. I hope people who lost had insurance, Mama Jenkins. I hope they did. She said, call your insurance company if you got that flood stuff. Okay, so I was
talking to somebody earlier, man, and they said a lot of people, when they do call the insurance company, they call in and they be talking about flood insurance, so they get turned down. And they said it's some kind of something insurance, like you just said, sewage insurance or something like that. They said you got to make sure you speak the right language to them.
That's absolutely true. And we learned that when that that flood. Kamar, you said 2010. I think it was a little bit after that, but you might be correct because I'm old, right? I just remember the severity of it. But a lot of people learned that they didn't. They thought they had coverage that they didn't. They thought, okay, I got flood. And it was like, nah. So it has to be specific in nature, like you said. So to anyone who has home insurance, you need to speak, like my brother said, the correct language to your insurance provider and say, look, do I or do I not have flood coverage? Yeah, you have it. Okay, what does that entail? Because they can say, well, it covers flood. Maybe if it flooded outside and it came through your front door, but not necessarily the sewage. So Mama Jenkins said sewage coverage. Let's go. Let me see. Chat room popping. Kerry Walker Jones said they drove 100 miles reckless with nobody chasing them. Okay, so is that what it was? The young man, you said the young man, is that what he had been? I thought he was wanted for a robbery or something, and he was in a stolen car.
The car was wanted for a drive the day before.
Okay.
And it was somebody else in the car with him, but they was able to get.
Okay. So I wasn't sure on it. I want to make sure we're clear on the details. Shabaka said California is on fire again. Natural disaster. Forest fire. They still can't explain the phenomena of forest fires. They can't explain it, Kamar. And there's some people
motherfuckers. That's what they just don't want.
Well, I thought we learned in elementary school science that forest fires were a necessity. That's the way nature kept, because once it burns, it grows like it grows back stronger. I thought that's what they told us. Oh no, they might have been lying. Oh man. So Mama Jenkins says she learned. So I guess it was 2010. I'm just old, man. I know it was major, and I just remember the water in the what's the water? I think that's the Menominee Creek that runs over Hampton. I just remember that water was up under the bridge, and I came and everybody was stuck on Teutonia and Hampton in the parking lot. And I figured out a way. Don't ask me why. I just took off because I wanted to get to my family. So I whoop wham, as my wife called it, and I ended up going the back way, catching the back street, and getting across Villard and Flores, getting home. But yeah, she said she learned in 2010. Read your damn policy. Read your policy. You paying for it? Why not? Read it. Reading is fundamental. Shout out to Mama Jenkins. Glad you know better. Kerry Walker Jones said they only insure washer and dryer fixtures, not a fixed up basement. DeVille Willis out in Vegas. Q Love. What it do, homie? What it do, man? What it do? Q Love. Kerry Walker Jones said it's the lightning bugs. LOL. Mama Jenkins said Lincoln Creek. Thank you, Mama Jenkins. Lincoln Creek. Thank you. I just know the areas that are classified as floodplains. And you might not think you live on a floodplain because you don't take into account what those creekways actually are. They're tributaries. Like they are made to prevent flooding, right? They're made so excess water, because that's why sometimes they're low and sometimes they're high. Oh, California. This is Shabaka. California allowed insurance companies not to pay flood victims and fire victims in Pacific Palisades and Ventura County. Fuck Gavin Newsom. Insurance is one of the biggest ripoffs that we've ever seen, but you need it, right? You pay forever. You might go 20 years without a calamity, paying as you go. And then all of a sudden something really happens and they like, well, we ain't paying you. You got to jump through hoops to get your payment. Insurance has been and always will be one of the biggest frauds in our country. And the fact that they are allowed to get away with having people pay insurance premiums for years, and when something happens, deny them coverage is criminal. They're just like Big Pharma. Big Pharma is the biggest crooks ever. We have an opioid epidemic. Where do you think those opioids come from? Big Pharma. And anything you can buy on the black market illegally and kill yourself, you can buy legally from Big Pharma and kill yourself. It's the hypocrisy in our democracy. But money make the world go round. Understand that. Money makes the world go round. So that's why those things happen. But yeah, so to this like I said, man, with this young man and to our young people in Milwaukee, I feel like this is embedded within youth culture here in Milwaukee. This kind of carelessness. And in their minds, it might feel like it's bravery. You know, rebel without a cause. I don't give a fuck because the world is fucked up. They left me lemons. I'm going to make lemonade. But it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. You will not beat this system attacking it from the outside. You got to attack it from the inside. You have to infiltrate. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to fall through the cracks, man. You're not going to take this regime, this thing on head on and succeed. You have to figure out how to fight. How do you rebel? What kind of rebel are you? You know what I mean? So I with the young people, if you feel like you're getting even with the world because you've been mistreated, you're not. You killing yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're ending your life. And not only are you doing that, you're making it bad for your peers and those who come behind you because you're putting a black eye on us. You are making it look like we are out of control, that we can no longer parent our children. You're justifying everything that they want to come into our communities and do. Tell you how to raise your kids, take your kids from you, program your kids, put them on meds, make them zombies. You're justifying all that through your behavior. I don't know if y'all know this or not. When you commit a crime, it don't teach me no lesson. You know, unless you commit it on me. You're teaching yourself a lesson because you might take my life and yours. For what reason? For what reason? I'm just saying, like, to young people, we got to start talking to these youngsters. I feel like Kamar, and some people might not agree with me on this, I feel like we handle them too gently. I feel like it ain't enough tough love in those rooms, in those conversations, because we go in there and I sometimes I feel like we provide them crutches. Oh, poor y'all. Oh, y'all ain't got this. Y'all ain't got that. No. Cut this shit out. Cut it out. Cut it out. You are not a martyr. You might get on a few hood t-shirts. You're not a martyr. What do you want out of life? If you to the point where you say, I don't feel like it's a future for me and I don't give a fuck, I feel like you need to be placed in a certain place. I don't think you should be. If I got my babies with me and I used to do this. I used to take my kids to State Fair every year, right? And they was babies. If I'm out there, me, the wife, and my babies, we out there, I'm winning prizes for my baby girl. Kev is eating cotton candy. My wife is eating whatever I'm eating. And you want to fight somebody because of what? Something they said on Facebook.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. You're counterproductive. You're antisocial. You need to be removed. You need to be put in a different place. I say it. Maybe you think it, but y'all won't say it. I'm going to say it. I say to these kids, you're making conscious decisions. He ain't had no daddy, so how would he know? Do you really need a daddy to understand that riding in a stolen car is wrong? Because I had a daddy and I rode in a stolen car because that's what I chose to do.
Right.
There was no excuse except for the fact that that's what the fuck I chose to do. And had I gotten caught, I deserved every consequence that came with it because I knew better. I made a conscious decision to do it because I thought I was on my rebel shit. Mama Jenkins said, my insurance gives us the value of payout challenges them and let them know when to adjust them. Come out, let them bitches know that this is your home and you paid your premium just for this kind of incident. Yeah, closed mouth don't get fed, Mama Jenkins, but a lot of people who don't, you know, you ask them about their insurance, they won't even know. They won't even know they policy. I think. I don't know. Those are the people who gonna get got. Shabaka said they're trying to get a match between Layla Ali and Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields said Layla Ali said no. She ain't fighting her. I wouldn't fight her either. The hell? Get your old ass in that ring. Get your head knocked off. You better sit your ass down somewhere. You better sit down, Layla. Stop it. So, Kamar, like I said, the second question should be, should the police just say, we're no longer chasing anyone? We're not going to do that anymore. Let's change the policy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's certain shit maybe like, because some people, man, it's like you got a street. Like they just did a drive-by the day before. What was they gonna do that day if they hadn't got caught or hadn't, you know what I mean? If something had happened to somebody else.
Say that.
You know what I mean? So you never know what they would have stopped for chasing them down.
Right.
Like shit, man, it's rocking a hard place. Again, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. You know what the fuck can possibly happen, God damn it. You do a drive-by, they looking for you.
You hot.
You know what I'm saying? Go sit your ass down and wait on them to catch you or some shit, man.
Well, you got the nerve to drive the car.
Shit ain't it.
You got the nerve to drive the car. I wouldn't get in a car that was that hot. I walked to where I'm going.
When I was coming up, using Westline, learning how to steal cars and shit, dog, we might have a car for about 3-4 hours before we getting up out that motherfucker, man. You know, we gonna joyride for hours and get up out of here. These motherfuckers steal cars and act like they're theirs. They going to the car wash and shit.
And put some music in it.
You know what I mean? Tint the windows out.
Yeah. Yeah. Simply because they know.
Get run from the police. Get hot. They tripping.
Because they know that they can. Like, remember, there was for a long time the law was they wouldn't chase. Remember, the police at one point said we don't do chases, and then this shit was so IOC. That's where you get mobile drug houses from, and so the police said, "No, fuck that. We chasing you." Which at the time I remember we did a show on it. Yes, we did, and I remember saying I thought the police was supposed to chase criminals. I thought that was. I mean, we played cops and robbers when we was little. Right. Police supposed to chase criminals. So, I think I pissed Jay.
That it put other lives in jeopardy, though.
Rest in peace to Jay, truth transfer engineer, Jason Campbell. I remember he was on here. We had one of the biggest arguments we ever had because he felt like black kids should not be ever judged by the crooked justice system that operates the United States of America. I don't know if you remember this show. And I'm like, that's dumb. What are you talking about? And we had this where I said, well, you come home, your wife's murdered, your daughter got her head busted, even the dog done got his ass whooped. You ain't calling the police? He said, no, I go after them myself. I didn't believe it. I didn't think it was. And I didn't think it would be effective because when you catch them, you can't arrest them, so you're going to have to kill them because what else you going to do? So, and rest in peace to him. I respect the dead.
At this point in my life, man, I'd rather the police go knock that motherfucker off than me.
Thank you. First of all, you get paid to do this shit.
Right.
I'm not getting no check. I'm gonna have to get a lawyer. I'm about to go through all these consequences and repercussions. Shit. I'm gonna call you. Go get him. That's what I pay you for. Mama Jenkins said another deadly police shooting, but they saying he probably died by self-inflicted bullet. There were 4 police shooting at one man with a gun. I seen that too, Mama Jenkins. You point a gun at the police, and I don't want to hear nobody say white men do it all the time. Okay. Right? You go do it. And you get killed. If you point a gun at the police and they telling you put that motherfucking gun down, we just had 2 officers shot. Do you think police is playing with your motherfucking ass right now? Pull a gun out on them. That's called suicide by cop. And he was like an armed robber suspect or someone. He Mama Jenkins, I believe. I believe he was suicide. I thought he was a robbery suspect or something, and a known violent offender. I said it. Did he say known violent offender? I did. Known violent offender. Shabaka said Vegas is also losing revenue. He said in Los Angeles, the police usually shoot the drivers of stolen cars. I bet you they do. I bet you they do, man. I bet you they do. Los Angeles police learned a long time ago. They learned a long time ago, like, ain't nobody playing with y'all, right? So Mama Jenkins shot me some info. She said never more than 100 police chases in the city. Then after restrictions were loosened, allowing officers to go after carjacking, drug dealers, and reckless drivers, chase numbers skyrocketed in 2015, 2016, and 2017. The Milwaukee police posted chase numbers in the hundreds. And but what should you do? What should you do? If you have an element in your city that for whatever reason has decided that they gonna do what they want to do, what do you do? What should police do? And in a lot of these chases, there are mitigating circumstances. This individual was wanted for this offense. This individual was wanted for that offense. So it's not like they're innocent people. If you're innocent, you don't run from the police. I'm not a criminal. If the police get behind me, I'm pulling over. When I was a criminal, I wasn't a getaway driver. So if they'd have got behind me, I said, damn, they got me. Shit. Right? Show ass, Mr. Postman. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. I believe that's what my brother just said. But I still understand, too, that it does create chaos. I do understand that. I do understand it because you got people who are sitting at stoplights or just on the sidewalk. They're not prepared for some car to come barreling down the street at 100 miles per hour. So it's a catch-22. So I'd like to pose the question to my listeners because I feel like the Outlaw family is an informed group of individuals. People who rock with me are normally in the know. What do y'all think they should do then? Chase or no chase? Let's start with that. Should the police in Milwaukee say no more chases? The problem with that is reckless driving is separate from police chases. So you have individuals who are just out riding recklessly doing 90 miles per hour. Normally the police get behind them because of that. So should the police stand idle and just allow people to just, okay, I just shot up a house, killed 2 people at a club, I'm gone, and we ain't gonna chase him? I think strategically, you can say, let's set up some checkpoints. And instead of chasing, intercept. You know what I mean? Like, he's headed, dun, dun, dun. We here. We got him. Block off the intersection. But block it off how? Because if you put the police cars, he or she might run into them. If you put the spike strips down, we seen years ago where there was some individuals running from the police. I believe it was somewhere on the east side, Kamar, and they put the spike strips down. Man, he was in a Ford Explorer. He hit them spike strips. That motherfucking truck went woo. I remember this shit. It was horrific, and people was like, "Oh, that's out of order." Like, okay. So I posed the question to my people who are listening. What do you do then? Say no more chases. No more chases.
Fuck that.
Okay. Okay. Because listen, if you come shoot up my shit and I'm laid out or somebody in my family's laid out and the police pull up and I'll be like, that motherfucker went that way. I want y'all to take off after him.
Straight up.
You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna fuck if he run to Chicago. Chase his ass down.
So they could just look at you and be like, well, we can't chase him anyway, so we ain't gonna go look.
Let's just call the ambulance. Let's just call the ambulance. You can't chase him. Right? You know. Shout out to Mariah Johnson. She said chase and automatic 5 years in jail. Longer than 5 years. Longer than 5 years. Longer than 5 years. Kerry Walker Jones said they need to chase because they drive reckless anyways. Okay. Brenda Peterson said chase. they gonna drive crazy anyways. If there's an emergency flashing light or stop lights when emergency vehicles are near. She said chase them. Mama Jenkins said, she said, yeah, that's what they say. Robberies were happening in the neighborhood. The only problems I have with that is, how did they know that kid was the one they was looking for? My answer to your questions, yes, chase them in certain conditions. Mariah Johnson said, fuck that, chase them. Outlaw Radio on a Monday evening, man. You know, there's hard questions, and hard questions require hard answers, right? And sometimes, you know, we disagree. We disagree, period, about criminal justice and the way crime. We did a show called Crime and Punishment, and we talked about, the justice system in America is flawed. It disproportionately convicts black people for the same things that white people do, so we get more time. We get more time. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. I know that. I don't discount that. But hey, man, boycott the prison, meaning stop doing shit that'll get you put in jail. My father used to say, straighten up and fly right. Dion, the phone is on. I may have missed your call, man. I thought you was on the damn phone anyways, man. Thought you was on the phone. Urban Legend RC, what it do, my brother? Welcome to Outlaw Radio. He said 100% Chase. Shout out to you, Urban Legend. Shout out to Urban Legend RC. I have a damn good time watching Urban Legend RC, y'all, on YouTube. I'm an RC fiend, man. What can I say? Just not a moment of the day I don't think about an RC car. It might be sad to commit. Come on, I might be sitting somewhere randomly thinking, should I put a better servo in my XL2 1000? Like, I'm a nerd like that, right? My daughter said I'm autistic. She said, Dad, you need damn RCs. These are like my puppies, man. So shout out to Urban Legend RC, man. Thank you for rocking with us. Mariah Johnson said, Deborah Jenkins Simmons, the car he was in was flagged for being part of a felony offense. So that's how they picked him, right? You drive, you know.
Yeah, that's what I said. That car was in the drive-by the day before.
Okay.
And it was stolen.
I kind of figure like it's easier for us to point a finger at the police than it is for us to tell the truth and tell our kids, sit your ass down.
Hey, listen, man.
I agree with you.
Hey, listen, Kev. We was just talking about the litter and shit. You see, my point when I talk about the litter is holding our people accountable for our bullshit. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to hold our people accountable for our bullshit.
No doubt. No doubt.
Like, it's always easy to push the blame off on somebody else or some other reason. That's because we don't want to be accountable for our shit.
So, hold on just for a second, Dion, before you even jump in. Come on, from your perspective, I get it in terms of accountability. I think the way it was presented on social media is what got my goat, right? Like, because I felt like people was putting a little bit too much on it and trying to be, because a lot of times when we speak to each other, especially on social media, we take the position of like I'm of a higher mind state, like I'm so much smarter than all of y'all, right?
And that's why I say intent is everything. You know what I mean? I'm sure some people, when they say that, their intent wasn't in the right place.
Right. It was sensational for them. Exactly. It was what we call it clickbait. Look at me. I got something to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so my thing was strictly based on the biological, scientific, meteorological.
Right. And you're right, though. And you was right too. You was right also.
Right. That doesn't alleviate somebody who throwing garbage out the goddamn window.
Right.
Your ass wrong still. Right. That's still
that was job security though.
Okay. Job security meaning what, Dion?
Shit, somebody gonna have to pick it up. And my thing is, just because you throw garbage out the window, that don't mean it's gonna flow to a drain though.
Say that
like
again.
It's just gonna. Just because you throw garbage out the window, that don't mean that it's gonna go to the drain though. Like, oh my God, it's going right over here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker city should have took credibility too, because when they collect these leaves and they be brushing them over, they stop the drains up with the fucking leaves sometimes.
You just hit on a very important point, Dion, because when I looked up, I asked Google the direct question: is trash on sewers the cause of the flooding? And it said the city has acknowledged that is a contributing factor, but it wasn't just garbage. It was leaves as well. It was leaves and shrubbery.
Yeah.
So you say niggas don't even when they cut their grass, they don't even throw the grass away.
Nope, you can't do that shit. I used to love. I pull up on somebody garbage, and I see some. I'm not dumping your shit. I'm gonna tag your shit. Be like, no yard waste.
Dirty
Because you, for some reason, I don't know. It's some type of chemically when you put yard waste and garbage together. Because garbage let off gas.
Right.
Like some type of gas. I can't think of the name of it, but that shit have started.
Methane.
Yeah, methane gas. That shit have started a fire in the back of the truck. So you know what I'm saying? I pull up on your shit, you got leaves in it. Boop, I ain't taking it.
I done got that. I done got that tick.
Or
that
I'll throw your shit in the garbage.
I done got that tag on my garbage cart a bunch of times. Like, hey, nigga, don't do this shit no more.
Yep. Or I'll throw your whole garbage can away and you got to call and get another one.
Okay. So Dion, chase or no chase?
I'm confused with that one because it endangers so many people though. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't feel sorry for that young man for what happened to him. You know, people's like, oh God, you know, it's like okay, if he would have been running for the police and then ran into an innocent person, just think about it. Within last month, we'll say month time, a man got killed at the bus stop running from somebody ran into him. A motherfucker got killed on Brady. I remember that lady that owned the corned beef place right there on Appleton behind Otto's. She got killed. Yeah. The May one Velma. Lady got another.
May Velma.
Yep, an older lady. She got killed on 35th and Lloyd right there. Brown. A guy was running from the police, and then somebody else got killed. So we have had numerous homicides by the perp. You understand what I'm saying? The person that's trying to get away from the police and killing innocent people, where you simply going out to make a run and fuck around and get a call, and they like, Mr. Barnes has been hit and killed, and and your wife like, well, what the fuck? He just went out. Or it could be even worse. You fuck around and get hit and killed.
Hold on. Don't use me though. Don't use.
All right, cuz.
That's a bad
omen. Weird as fuck.
Use me.
A motherfucker fuck around. No, for real though, a motherfucker fuck around.
Said Peter.
And now you paralyzed from the neck down, and all you was going to get was a black and mild.
No,
or you know what I'm saying? Some weird shit. So
I was just trying to give me some OE. I was trying to give me some OE. You done ran into me.
Yeah, I can't feel sorry for the perpetrators that's committing the acts, but also we need to find, because I remember growing up, I always heard you can't outrun that Motorola. That's what because we never. Man, listen, we used to ride around with drugs, pounds, assault rifles, all type of shit. Never got into high speed chase. So I don't know what these young niggas doing, but they need to find a better way instead of chasing them and use the fucking Motorola. It's police in that area. Hey, police in Woodoo, maybe give them a 3 or 4 block chase after maybe 5 at the most. You hit them for 5 blocks, boom. You can't catch them. Any squads in this area looking for this car.
You pass them off. Pass them off.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? How many? You let them know how many perpetrators in the car. Let them know if they got a tag or if it ain't got no tag. But give a description. And also another thing though, but we don't have that here because we do, but we don't because they always in the air talking about the news and other shit. But hello.
Hey, but what about the times? What about the times you don't chase them and the motherfuckers go shoot somebody else? Or go just be joyriding fast as a motherfucker on their own without a chase? Because they do it without getting chased too.
I mean,
they do it without being chased. They're doing that shit on their own. You know what I'm saying?
It's the lesser of two evils.
So like, what happens, man? You know what I mean? What happens when they don't chase them and then the motherfucker go hurt somebody else? But they still out here joyriding fast as a motherfucker and shit.
It's the lesser of two evils, I must say.
Evil,
because
well, Dion, evil is evil. So you said lesser of two. Well, somebody gonna die either way.
Yeah, basically.
Now hold on. Yeah, I got Ewok. On the line. Ewok, you with us?
Yeah, man.
What's poppin'?
Chase them motherfuckers, man. That's what I think, man. You know, because it's crazy because it's like Monday morning quarterbacking and shit. You know, what if this happened? And you know, like K Bull just said, you know what I'm saying? You don't chase him. What if he kills 10 motherfuckers tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? On some old stupid shit. Try to get that motherfucker right now, man. You know, that's the way I look at it. Man. Get his ass right now.
So the double standard here is we see young people all the time who have already committed a crime and are out on bail, or they've cut their bracelet off and they commit another crime. So people will say, well, his ass should have never been on the street anyways. But these are the same people who would tell you they shouldn't chase him.
Right.
Like, you can't have it both ways, right?
Yeah, that's Monday morning quarterbacking.
Right.
Yeah.
Hindsight is 2020. In the chat room, Shabaka St. Core says clickbait is dangerous. Could hit your computer with a virus. Fucking hackers are good. A lot of these motherfuckers are out of India, Mongolia, and Nigeria like a motherfucker. Nigerians be lighting my inbox up. Hello, brother. I can hear him in my head. Hello, brother.
My mama always gets skin bound because she be on them datelines and shit.
Oh, shit.
They be tow her account up.
Oh, wow. She better go to 502 or something. Catch her at one of them OGs, man, sitting at the bar with them silk socks on. Mariah Johnson said, don't be a critter. Don't litter. Don't be a critter. And shout out to, look, my cousin, Bose, Carl Pfeiffer. He was up early in the morning because he lives, I guess, in Brown Deer. So he was showing the road, how the road buckled. I think it's Lily Road out in Brown Deer. That shit was phenomenal. I was like, what the rain? You don't think rain can do that? Like you say, not just rain. No.
It was the force in that and how fast it was coming down.
Man,
that shit under there. It tore somebody's whole foundation off the side of their house. I don't know if it was the meter, the gas meter, but that woman house ain't no good. Nope.
Wow.
Nope. I said, when I seen that shit, I said, damn.
God bless these people.
Yes, man.
Glad it wasn't more death. I'm glad it wasn't more death. Mariah said they keep slapping them on the wrist about these crimes, and it's sad. She was saying the road washed away. So Ewok says chase them. Dion says, I don't know.
Man, the law is enablers. They enablers nowadays.
I said chase him. Mama Jenkins said chase him. Kerry Walker John. Everybody on the panel so far said chase their ass. If you got a different opinion,
until that motherfucker run into your car, now you can't. Your neck fucked up and you paralyzed, and you be like,
they might do that anyway.
Right on there, like the Milwaukee police, they should change their chasing procedures. No, you said chase them.
Yeah, but
so
the only thing is they driving like this anyway. So you might anyway.
That might happen.
I don't know what
that might happen right after. That might happen right after the police don't chase.
You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit.
That might happen right after the police don't chase them.
So my thing is the behavior is foul, no matter how you look at it. So there's a necessity for them to be pursued. However, let's dig into this a little bit deeper, because I did see Mayor Johnson give his press conference about what they're going to do to counter the violence in downtown Milwaukee. Water Street and Brady Street this summer has been bloody. Rest in peace to young Tweezy, who was basically a Milwaukee celebrity. I say he was our Mac Dre. He was an ambassador for Milwaukee. Life tragically taken. So many others have been murdered. There was another brother who was murdered alongside him who's very well known. This is our prime entertainment district, downtown Milwaukee, Brady Street, Water Street. And so the mayor has had to come with answers, and we've demanded that. Well, number one, he came with this. I say this all the time. He came with the same group of people. That's neither here nor there. But he talked about, and this way, if you watch it, it's in the People's News Network, which is our sister group. Please join the People's News Network. He talked, and once again, he didn't really answer things like I would have wanted him to. And he said that from now on, there's going to be more police allocated to downtown. They're going to regulate the food trucks, right? So their hours of operation. They're going to be, I guess, walking officers. Well, somebody said, well, we'll assume that if you're going to take police away from heavily crime-infested districts, that's going to cause those people to be in danger. Well, yeah, but so he summed it up as you got to make a decision, right? And he also said that the police had another plan in which they would be utilizing drones. I seen somebody say, I didn't know Milwaukee police had drones.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I love RC. Shout out to Urban Legend. You see, it works itself in, Urban. Drones. The Milwaukee Police Department has a drone program. And the cop kind of can't, when the mayor asked him, he said, well, I ain't gonna, because he straightened up real quick, like, well, that's not, when they said, how many cops is gonna be downtown from now? He said, I don't know if I should answer that. That might be an answer for my police correspondent. And they came and said, we ain't gonna really talk about the numbers. We ain't gonna talk about that. And then there may be some inclusion of drones. And we found out, I guess their drone program is in the process of being fully developed. And I thought somebody said it's a couple years away. So once again, if we're talking about drones now, you don't have to chase nobody if we got drones.
Hey, I saw drones. They got drones down there where Blade at.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I saw them down there how the police use them.
Okay,
yeah. Kind of dope, you know what I'm saying? Like it's extra eyes. But I was just what I was finna say was, okay, they talking about the police, but then you also see groups like Vaughn May's group, right? You saw them at State Fair walking around. They doing this shit on their own dollar, walking around helping patrol and helping keep shit safe. Why the fuck don't they give these type people some money to go do that shit?
Maybe they are giving them a grant. Maybe I don't know. Let me.
Well, I'm saying, but that ain't what he didn't mention that. Like he could have also said, if that was the case, he could have also said, well, we also got some other organizations who we working with that's going to be on the ground walking, patrolling, and helping keep everything safe. They could have said that if that's the thing.
And there's the community accountability that he keep talking about he want, right?
Yeah.
Right. What about deputization?
They did.
And then there's supposed to be some talk of the sheriffs, which I've long said. How do you have a Milwaukee Police Department and a Milwaukee County Sheriffs that can't work together when they're basically working in adjacent areas? But mine is the park, yours is the street.
Right.
That's dumb as fuck. Why is there not? Is our genius mayor and our genius executive? Why wasn't their first initiative to say we're going to cohesively and cooperatively fight crime together as a county and a city?
I've seen the sheriff get on motherfuckers' ass before.
Do they? I don't normally see them involved in Milwaukee street crime. Now, if you in the park, I didn't see you.
No, I see them all the time. Got a motherfucker pulled over.
Yeah, that's usually because they chased them off the expressway or from near a park. They don't patrol Milwaukee City streets.
You see them riding through.
Yeah, you see them.
They ain't gonna just pull a motherfucker over unless they doing something blatantly wrong.
I mean, if they see somebody shoot somebody, I'm sure, you know, right. Like they ain't us. I'm saying they don't patrol.
Right.
They don't cooperate because you got the expressway sitting there.
They ain't gonna be riding through the zoo and riding around the zoo protecting the neighborhood.
They should be downtown.
But you'll see them at Sherman Park.
See them at County at American Family Insurance Field, whatever the fuck it's called now.
You see them at that Boys and Girls Club at Sherman Park. But
yeah, they're gonna be in the park.
But you ain't gonna see them in the neighborhood around the park.
Right. Unless they going to get some lunch or something. Going back to the park. Going back to the park.
Right.
Kerry Walker Jones said, I got run off the road in a chase, and I still say chase them. I say chase them too, man. I just think you take advantage. Dion said you can't beat that Motorola, where technology is a son of a bitch now. You got cameras everywhere, right? And you got drones. So you maybe like my brother said, 5 blocks, and he headed northeast on such and such street. Drone in the air. Woo! We got him. Just block off this intersection. You know what I mean?
Criminals would take advantage of the fact that they ain't chasing no more, that they won't chase. They'll take advantage of that.
Absolutely. If I was still a criminal, I'd say that's just love, bro.
They
ain't no chases. I'm never pulling over. I am never pulling over. Never. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck you talking about? This is
motherfuckers usually pull over because they know they probably gonna get caught anyway.
Right. Shabaka said, he said, I forgot about those Nigerians. I cussed a lot of those crooked motherfuckers out with their banking scams. Motherfuckers talk about you made $100,000, but you need banking info. Next thing you know, you wiped out. Fuck them. They should go get the British and the French with that bullshit. Oh, I'm sure they do. They do wife scams overseas. Shabaka St. Court said he said they got drones like a motherfucker in Sin City. You know, we didn't even do fireworks this year on the 4th of July. They did a drone presentation.
Yep.
So if you believe for 1 millisecond that they don't already have this equipment,
right?
Expedite the process of implementing this. Like, expedite it. If it was a few years away. No, you speed that shit up right now. You know what I mean? Or hire some people. Once again, your partnership with the community. There's some professional drone operators in Milwaukee. I've seen them. You go ahead.
Are you one of them?
Well, I'm a drone. I'm not a drone expert at all. I don't have a pro drone. I have 3 drones, but they're pretty much amateur, rudimentary drones. I have one with the GPS thing on it. I don't invest enough time. I got helicopters. I don't invest enough time in flying them to do it where I could be out there working. Maybe I could, if they pay me, I'd go do some extra practice.
They need to do some shit like on TV, like how you see the police behind the car, then a little RC just gets shot out the front of the car and they go up under the car and then they put something on the car where it just stall the engine and shit. You know what I'm talking about?
It's all kinds of ways. It's all kinds of ways technology can be utilized. The United States Army used RCs in Iraq to stop IEDs. Like they would put them so they go first and set them off. So yeah, man, my hobby pays dividends. Ewok, you still with us or not? I think Ewok.
They weaponizing the police force anyway, though. You know what I'm saying? It just be too much going on, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just be too much going on.
Shout out to Orlando Owens, man. He in the chat room. He said, "What up, family?"
Yeah, we gonna see if his Lord and Master help Milwaukee out, though. That's my whole thing, because I ain't gonna fuck with my insurance company. Because if I call them, ask them any type of questions, like I called them one year about something, they told me I had a claim. What? You ain't paid me nothing. I called and asked the question, was this covered? You know what I'm saying?
You better call them motherfuckers. What you talking about? You paying them and you won't call? Man, you better call. Man, listen, stop it. You better call them motherfuckers.
See what FEMA talking about.
Man, you got a better shot. We don't know what FEMA. Trump might say no. Ewok said if you give a Nigerian your banking information, you need to get got. That's kind of true. That's kind of true too, right? That's occupational hazard of being a fool. Like, you can't hit me in my messenger talking about, I need help. Can you do what's your If you don't get your ass up out of here. Oh, man. Oh. I had a friend.
What's wrong with bro? He okay?
He's eating and he's choking.
I ain't watching y'all on the camera. So I'm fucking with that basement. Trying to get that.
I had a friend. I'm not gonna say his name because I want to protect the innocent. I don't know how and I don't know why, but he fell victim to a scam where the Owen used to be, hey, I have all this money and I just need some help. And his was so bad that it was one of them situations where he was in Arizona and they told him a location to be at and they was gonna fly over and drop some money off.
He was a goofy.
I don't know how he fell for it, but he took like, I guess he was on the fence. He needed some money. He felt like he was gonna be able to do it, and he got right. He
was a good newfie. They see him coming.
Don't victim shame, Dion. Don't victim shame.
They parted his head like the Red Sea.
They spent him. More urban legend RC. He says sheriffs don't patrol here either. Most of the time, they are moonlighting when we see them places here. And I believe he's in North Carolina. I think.
Let me call you back. I'm on my podcast. Damn.
Yeah, he's on his podcast, Mama. Urban, you're right. I mean, in most places, because in most places you're gonna have city and then county, because a city is part of a county, right? In Milwaukee, I feel like it's kind of utilized to counterbalance the power in the like when it comes to decisions, because I feel like all this should just be the city of Milwaukee, but you have suburbs. You have subdivisions. You have the people, the white people who fled Milwaukee, because all these little outposts used to be little greenhouses and depots until white flight. As soon as they passed open housing in 1968, white people said, the fuck you say? And they got to fuck up all of a sudden Glendale and Brookfield and all these places became these premium suburbs. So they formed Milwaukee County, right? But I just feel like Milwaukee is the city. It should be the boss, but they want it separated. That's why we have a mayor and a county executive. We have a common council and we have the county supervisors. It's supposed to be the balancing of power, but it's just not done well to me, because it should be cooperative, because we all affect each other. I feel like sometimes the county exists to protect wealthier people, to protect them from us. I might be wrong. Shabaka said, ask Kamar how good that weed is. Is that why he was coughing? And he got some good reefer, huh? Mama Jenkins said, didn't they have a drone at the police funeral last month? There are drones everywhere. She said, "Don't be foolish, Dion. Don't be foolish.
Don't be foolish about what?
Call your goddamn insurance company. What the fuck you mean? I ain't gonna say nothing to them because I don't want them to get mad at me. You sound like
Man, y'all don't know. I went through that shit, man. I just don't want to go through that.
Stop
shit,
paying
man.
them then.
You know you can't. You gotta have a homeowner's insurance.
There's more than one organization. If I can't call you and ask you about my policy, I will find a new carrier.
That's true. I agree with you.
I'm not gonna sit back like I don't want to say nothing. I don't want him to be mad.
I might piss my ass off.
Don't do me like that, kid.
I might piss my ass off.
Right. You don't call him and be like, yeah, Dion. I just called and I just wanted to see I had a little water. Hell no. I call him like, look, I want to know what my policy includes because I had some water damage. Shit.
Hold on, I gotta mute you because I'm about to go down here and I want y'all to hear this vacuum.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Mariah Johnson said, I've been seeing a lot of state troopers lately on Hampton, Green Bay, and Capitol Drive. Like I said, supposedly this part of this anti-crime initiative that's supposed to be getting ready to be implemented does involve some sort of cooperation between the Milwaukee Police Department and the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? That should have been done. I still don't understand the short-sightedness of our leadership that won't say, hey, can we, you know what I'm saying? Can we collaborate? Like, why are we, if you in Sherman Park and I'm on Burleigh, and I don't know how much they communicate cohesively, but it just appears to be kind of like a void, a blank spot. She's saying, what do they have? What do you have the insurance for? Right. Like what you got it for? Man, you better call them motherfuckers. Mama Jenkins said hers is coming tomorrow. Go ahead, Mama Jenkins. Tax them. Look, my where I grew up at on 17th and Capitol, our basement flooded. It did. The sewer backed up, right? After years, I was gone. I was in college. The sewage, it flooded. It backed up in our basement. I lost pretty much all the shit from my childhood, all my toys, which now would be worth so much money. I had like 3-4 boxes of classic comic books, all my recruit mail. I lost it all. It was destroyed. I should have kept some of my toys, but I just came home from school. My mother said, it's in the garage. I'm like, fuck all that shit. But my mother taxed the shit out of them insurance people. So she got that fixed. And then lightning struck the top of the house and burnt the top of the house off. She got the whole house rebuilt. She wasn't giving a fuck about them being mad. My mother was on their ass. More Urban Legend RC says they have those wheel grappler police bumpers in states with a lot of high-speed chases. I suggest you bring this up in the next town council meeting so that they can consider allocating funds. To go downtown and talk at the Common Council meeting in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is almost a fruitless pursuit. I mean, you got to go down there with some nuts behind you. And when I say nuts, I mean, you got to be about 40, 50, 60, 70 deep. I know when I was with the Panthers, we would disrupt county, the aldermanic meetings. We would go in there, man. We would, and I seen, shout out once again, rest in peace to the general. That's one thing about Rick Farmer you cannot say. He was not scared. I mean, we would go in there. we used to interrupt the county executive meetings. We used to do it, and it would still, like, because they have an agenda. You know what I mean? Like, and I think they would be scared of those wheel grapplers because that would really be chaos. If you throw one of them joints from somebody speeding through a residential area, ooh, ain't no telling who they gonna kill. Let me see. He said, this is Shabaka. This is Shabaka. He said, here in Vegas, the police department and the Clark County sheriffs are one and the same. The Clark County sheriffs, I'm sorry. I mean, Urban, I agree with you. Like, there should be some discussion about how the funds are allocated. I guess my point is, up here, the way it works is, I think they're more loyal. A lot of our elected officials are more loyal to their campaign funders than they are to their actual constituents in the community. That's why we have so many unmet needs in our community, because they make deals for people who finance their campaigns or with people who finance their campaigns. Ernest Walker said Dion scared the insurance company gonna drop him. So what? Pay me first. That's usually what they do after they pay you anyways. After they got to write you a check, they usually drop you anyways. He said Pawn Stars probably would have paid you good for those comic books. Man, I grew up, I was a kid in the 80s, man. I had the G.I. Joe, the Transform. I be looking online for this shit, and I'm like, this shit worth like hundreds and thousands of dollars. I had all that shit. And once again, being young, being on the move, I should have took my shit and said, I'm gonna get my money for this, but I was like, no, I don't even want it. I left my shit in there like a dumbass. Mama Jenkins said, me too. I'm like your mom. I don't play because I pay the cost. Shabaka St. Core said, may the general rest in peace. I've seen him in action. I rock with the general for a long time. Now, Orlando, you been on. You called first. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, how the Outlaw family doing? I appreciate you all. I hope everybody is surviving this thing. I hope those, I'm praying for the families and who've lost from this weather, man. I was out of town, but we got a little water in our basement, too, but not standing water, but I got my shop back going out, trying to blow some of the water out, dry it out.
Okay.
This collaboration that I think that you're saying that they announced, I must have missed it, and I was out of town. So the city and the county has started an initiative that the police and sheriff department will work together.
That was part of this anti-crime initiative to protect Water Street. And it, once again, if you listen to our mayor speak a lot of times, it's not a whole lot of detail. There's a lot of generalized statements. There's this kind of thing where you really hear something, but you don't really know. He's not really transparent. I guess that's what it is. But he did allude to the fact that there would be some sort of cooperation. Didn't give any detail that I heard. Maybe somebody else out there has more info on it than myself, but I didn't hear that. But that was something that he alluded to, as well as the drones, as well as changing the way they allocate police to certain areas. So it was like an overview, but not. It was more macro than micro. Put it like that. It was more macro than micro.
I would definitely like to know more about the initiative because, for the guys who know and guys, whatever, you've had HIDA and different task force. And,
HIDA's gone. There's no more HIDA in Milwaukee. That's been gone.
I was just going to say that you've always had collaboration, different levels of government or law enforcement. I guess my first, without knowing the plan, is what is it that the sheriffs and MPD is going to do? You're going to have more sheriffs patrolling downtown.
Well, if they're smart, because let's be honest, the city of Milwaukee Police Department is overwhelmed right now. One of their issues is they're saying they don't have enough officers. And so if you were going to take officers from a real high crime, highly criminal activity, a zone where criminal activity is very high, and say, go downtown, then that area is going to be affected. So if you're going to utilize some sheriff deputies as well as some police officers, then so you don't have to take as many out of the neighborhoods that are so troubled around it, because around the downtown area is the hood. Like, let's be honest. That's the trenches down there. Surrounding, that's always been the problem with that. Hell, Hillside sits 2 minutes from the Fiserv Forum. You got a public housing development, 2 minutes from a $500 million stadium. So I got another caller, Orlando. Give me a second. Somebody else call back. Who's this? Is this Dion?
No, man, this ain't no Dion, man. This the calm.
My God. Sean Moore. What it do, family? Faux life. How you doing, my brother?
What it do, my brother? What it do, man? How y'all doing it?
What's popping with you, man? We doing well. What's on your mind, Sean?
Man, I just happened to, I was about to do my nightly prayer, man, and I went online and y'all popped up. First thing came on my feed. I said, KB must be meant for me to call in and talk to the Negro Whisperer and the Witch Doctor. What's going on? I guess not, huh? All right, then. All right.
He said he must be missing me.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I just called to tell y'all good night.
Is that what you called for, really? Come on. Come on. We did this. We talked about should brothers call each other and say good night, and it was an overwhelming. Don't call me talking about what up, cuz. I just want to say good night. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Now, what's up, man? What's up, Sean? You be on some shit. What's going on, man?
No, man. I'm just, I ain't on nothing tonight, man. Just praising God, man. hoping for another day. Preparing for tomorrow's meeting, hoping that it goes well. And hoping that I wake up in the morning. That's all, man.
Now, who you meeting with tomorrow? Who you meeting with?
You know, it's the state of emergency meeting tomorrow.
Is that okay? So that's the big one. That's the event that they had the flyer with everybody's name on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
now, where is it at, and what time is it?
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I gotta look online to get there.
So you don't know where it's at or what time it is. You just know you're going.
Listen, man. I'm not a speaker. I'm not on the panel. I don't have to know that information.
Well, if you're going, you might want to know what time it starts and where it's at. What do you mean?
Well, listen, man. I got I got a meet. Oh, I got a court hearing in the morning with this young man, and I got a meeting tomorrow. If this meeting goes well, man, I'm gonna take 100 of the most troubled kids, and I'm gonna offer them a certain amount of money to stay alive for the next 20 years. I can't tell y'all what it is, but if the meeting goes well tomorrow, man, I'm gonna show that this can be done by restoring hope and promise.
Okay. Is that?
It looks like it's gonna be tomorrow night at Infinite Church.
That's it. That's it.
Okay. What time, Orlando?
I got it on my schedule. I was gonna try to come. I'm not sure I can make it, but I got a block at 5:30. Probably starts at 6. But I try to start a half hour earlier, so it probably starts at 6.
Something like that.
6750 North 43rd Street.
Yeah. Something like that.
Well, tomorrow is my wife's birthday. Happy birthday to my Sheila.
Congratulations, man.
Happy birthday to your wife.
So I won't be there. We gonna be somewhere by candlelight eating some fine cuisine. So I won't be there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you going?
He ain't going with us to dinner. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. That's what's up, man.
Where is it and what time y'all said?
What time? Orlando said he's not sure either, but he has 5:30. He says you can find it online. I was giving Sean shit. You can find it online.
What's the name of it?
It is State of Emergency.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like some people were salty behind it because they said that we really, like I said, in Milwaukee, we have the tallest midget syndrome where everybody wants to be big, right? And people are like, well, my name ain't on that. And I'm out here doing the work. Well, if you go, you may be able to network and collaborate with some individuals so that your name will be on the next one. Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Stevie Wonder could
I gotta get ready for this prayer, man.
It ain't even about nobody's name. It's bigger than that.
Right.
I gotta get ready for this prayer, man. I'll catch y'all on the next.
Man, appreciate you calling in, man. Peace and love, man.
All right.
Peace and love.
Love y'all, man.
All right, man. Love you too. We ain't gonna say good night. We just gonna say peace and love.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Like, yes. You've been to some of these meetings before, and I know you quite often say, yeah, I want to see the end result of what the meeting, because different panels, different task force have come together. And what do you think the biggest criticism is? That there's no next steps, or it just never gets off the ground, or there's no direction, or what? Like, what's the thing with tomorrow's night with 25 panelists or whoever? What's going to be the after action? And I'm kind of with you. Like, what we trying to get? What are we trying to accomplish coming together?
So first of all, I when I say that I got fatigued from going to meetings, community meetings, because what a lot of those meetings ended up being were what I like to say is a speech contest, right? That's not to say individuals weren't sincere. That's not to say there wasn't passion in the room. That's not to say that they're ineffective. For me personally, if there's no follow-up, then I feel like we wasted our time. I want to say that. But also I want to say this. Anytime we get together in terms of like there's enough noise and enough unity to bring some cameras or some coverage, what you do is you create awareness, right? And you never know who you might appeal to through creating the awareness. My hope is that whatever the purpose of this meeting, I totally get it. It is a state of emergency. We've had a very bloody summer. This has been horrendous. And my hope, this is my hope, that there will be something that comes out of this meeting. So even if it's something as small as two individuals who have tremendous, influence, or they're doing some important work, if they can connect and take things to another level, that's a positive. That's a positive. My thing that I'm always critical of is that I just don't have time, because I pretty much know what's going to be said. I know the statistics. I know the situation. I know how the system works. There are some people who don't know that, and they need these meetings to happen. And that's why I told myself, you got to be careful how you criticize these kinds of events. And I'm just being honest. I wasn't trying to be critical of these brothers, because there's a lot of brothers out here in the streets right now doing work that I'm not doing. So far be it for me to critique them. I've worked with young people for so long in so many different capacities. I'm at the point now where, the soldier don't stay a foot soldier forever, right? You can't be in infantry forever. Sooner or later, you got to get in logistics. You have to become a sergeant. You have to become a corporal, a captain. I feel like I did my work on that end. So the lane I stay in now is a little bit different. So once again, I would hope that there's something that comes from this. And for those who are not aware, and I think it was, who was it, Kamar? We were having a conversation on the show one night, and I said, in 2016 and 2015, pre-George Floyd, Michael Brown, I was out here doing the work. And somebody was like, well, I wasn't that Kev. I didn't even know about it. I wasn't on that then. So now I'm on it. So I need to go and learn for myself. I need to see these things for myself. So that's always a positive, man. Anytime we get together and we ain't shooting and fighting and shit, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I just hope, once again, I want my main point to be heard. All I hope for is that something comes out of this. It's good to show unity. It's good to show solidarity. It's good to, as black men come together. But what we gonna do after we done met and we done the meet and greet and we done ate the charcuterie? What are we gonna do now? What's the next meeting gonna be? Do we have an established agenda? More often than not, we don't. When we do these meetings, we don't have an agenda that requires or can even expand to following up. So that's my point to that. What was you about to say, Orlando?
Well, you have a lot of the people, to your point, who may not have heard, what the past activities or movements have been, so the people need to be brought to speed. But you do have, quite honestly, I was very impressed with the lineup they had. There's some aldermen there, and I don't know if the county executive or the mayor is coming, but you had a lot of people that had some influence. And, if it's going to be something, I'm with you. The answers are going to come within the people. Like, let's not meet just to meet, and no shade against meeting, because, every so often you have to re-engage and re-fire up, the lines of communication. And maybe the lines of communication have been, kind of done away with, of who's doing what. And what I see in these meetings that I go to, first, there's a little self-promotion of what I'm doing. And I'm doing this over here, and ain't nobody else doing nothing. And that gets the crowd kind of hostile. That's supposed to get their back up. Well, I'm doing, and then it kind of settles down. And it may not happen in this meeting. The ones who stick, I think, are the ones who are going to actually kind of bring together a mission and a plan, hopefully, to do something. But you got to have this initial meeting to bring all the people to the room.
Well, one thing we ain't gonna do, we ain't gonna criticize this meeting before it happens. That's okay. We're not gonna even approach it. This is a good thing. Let's say this. This is a good thing. It's gonna be a lot of name brand Negroes there. Some who have influence, some who have some powers, a little clout. I'm not gonna be like, oh, fuck them. I'm not gonna be like, oh, them niggas ain't gonna do nothing. No, y'all go ahead, do that shit, man. I ain't no hater like that. I'm not a dude that's, my ego's so big that I can't see what's important because I can't see past it. Okay, come on, they didn't invite Outlaw Radio. Fuck them. What? Why would I say that? Why would that be my perspective? You know what I mean? Because they didn't say we couldn't come. They didn't say Outlaw Radio, y'all stay at home. I'm choosing not.
I think it'd be dope if we went live from that motherfucker.
Imagine that.
And
we probably could.
You know what I mean? Remember, Kev, remember I was telling you, I said, man, you know, at this point right now, we the media. We the media for the revolution. You know what I mean? It's a whole different lane. It's a different part of the revolution. We a part of the way to get the message out of what we want to get out. You know what I'm saying? We a part of the media to where we putting our narrative together. You know what I'm saying? We can demonstrate when we go places, I feel like if we go live places, it's more of us reporting what's going on. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, we showing support by even being there.
There's entirely so much more. There's entirely so much more that I could do in terms of like going, but I'm telling y'all, I choose not to. It is my personal decision, not because I'm a hater, not because I'm against them. It's just that's how I've always been. I'm on my own shit. Like I'm just, I work. What we used to say, Kamar, we will work with anyone. We just don't rock with everybody. And if anybody reach out to me and say, Kev, I want you. Well, I can't say anybody because some people have reached out and I was like, nah, I'm cool. But that's just me. That's why I tell other brothers, don't you not go because I'm not going. Because you can go down there. Kamar, you could go down there and go live. You got enough clout right now with the real OG to go down there and say, yo, Outlaw Radio in the building. Kev ain't here, but I'm I'm here. So always more you can do.
Hey, but the interviews with different people, that's where I'm gonna drop the ball at. That part easy.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, I can see that. That's not your lane necessarily, but I mean, it's just go ahead, Orlando. I want you keep trying to jump in and double dip.
On Outlaw Radio, man. I'm Robin. Now you Batman. I'm Robin. I'm right here.
Hey, Robin, where Batman at?
Hey, Batman don't send Robin out to do shit by himself.
This ain't the Batmobile, Jay. It was Robin driving that motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? Robin don't drive the Batmobile.
He got a motorcycle. Go ahead, Orlando.
No, I definitely rock with Kamar and Kev. You've known this for a while, at least with me, and I think that's what's part of the point of the People's Network, that you guys are a media outlet, and if there are people, volunteers who are part of the People's Network and part of the Outlaw family, I don't know if I can make it, but I would watch it. If someone was, podcasting it, I would watch it. My schedule's a little tight tomorrow, but I definitely would watch it. I just say that.
No, and you know what? I don't think of myself. I don't take myself too seriously. I'm humble if nothing else. That don't mean I'm not self-assured. That don't mean I don't believe in myself. That don't mean my sense of self-efficacy is not great. But I don't feel like I was put here to be Martin Luther King. So, and I'm not trying to be. I'm cool with just being Kev, man. Like I really love Kevin Barnes. So I just try to stay centered in what I do. And if the opportunity arises, so say someone had reached out to me and said, Kev, this is going to be very major. Because I rock with Walter Lanier. Walter Lanier has been on here. Me and him are very cool. If he wanted to say, Kev, come down here, set your stuff up. I want you to do some interviews. I wouldn't have said, no, I ain't fucking with y'all. I would have asked for certain conditions to be, for it to be done right. But once again, I don't care. It's not, I don't need to be there. It's not like I'm saying it ain't gonna work if I ain't there. You know what I mean? Like, so if there's anybody out there who wants to collaborate with Outlaw Radio, all you got to do is hit me. And don't hit me the day before, because I'm not coming. When it's first being planned, bring me in then and give me a chance to say, is this something I want to hook my wagon to? This is Ernest. He's dissing Orlando. He said Orlando should have laid down face first in that shitty ass water. Okay. Okay. Mama Diggins said nothing.
Hey, see? Orlando ain't said nothing about nobody.
We don't even got to go down this road again.
That's just the point I'll be making right there. I was waiting on it.
If I wasn't Ron Burgundy, I wouldn't even read the comment. I just read with I'm reading the teleprompter pretty much.
That's what you do. I get it. And
Mama Jenkins said nothing again. Little buddy wasted another interview. He's just so vanilla. I mean, even when he's trying to be passionate, it doesn't register with me. Cause I just feel like, come on, man. I don't feel like he's always honest with us. I feel like he tells us what he wants us to know, not what we should know. I might be wrong. That is my opinion of him.
Politicians.
Well, that's right. That's what all, but I feel that way with all politicians. This is Mariah Johnson, my cousin. She said, Cavalier vaguely speaks because he don't know what to say. What did she say? Fuck Covey? Fuck Cavi. She said, cuz. She said, fuck Cavi. Brenda Peterson said, my dad and son-in-law's birthday is tomorrow. Okay, so you got family too. She said, happy birthday, she baby. She'd look at you if you call her that, like, what? What did you just call me? Oh, Cash used to hear me say she. That's what I call her. And one of my friends said it one time, like, what up, she? She looked at him like, nigga, what? Nobody called me that except him. It was hilarious. She gets it though. Happy birthday. Mama Jenkins says, sent me the flyer. Did you send me? You did send me the flyer, Mama Jenkins. So I can probably get the information and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read the information. Said meeting with no performance outside of the meeting. Follow up is hard, man. Cause everybody down for the, man, I might get a chance to get on Fox 6 or something. You know what I'm saying? And I once again, I don't want to be the person that says something negative about something that has righteous intention. I don't want to be that person. So this is the details, y'all. This is the details. Thank you, Mama Jenkins. Thank you for sending me this. She says, state of emergency. She didn't say it. The flyer says, state of emergency. It takes the culture to heal the culture at town hall. No, they're having a town hall. Hold on, let me. This whole joint. Include, she said, more names to be added. No one is left off intentionally. And it just has a bunch of people. Man, yeah, there's a lot of people on this list. There are a lot of people. Yikes. I guess Young Tweezy's son will be there, hosted by Pastor Ray Dante Ashford. 6 p.m. Honoring OG Tweezy and all victims and survivors of gun violence. There's a QR code. Y'all know what? I'm gonna put this flyer in the people's network, but it doesn't say. Okay, here it is. You were right. The Infinite Church. 60 something. I can't see it. I'll put it in the People's News Network. Shout out to Mama Jenkins for sending me that. Appreciate you. So yeah, man, y'all go see what's going on, man. Things have changed. Go see what's going on. Support, man. She said, this is Mariah. She said, Deborah Jenkins, Mama Jenkins, can you send it to me, please? Mama Jenkins is saying, okay. She said, thank you. Shout out to Cuzzo and Mama Jenkins. Earl Henning said they are still not going to do anything for the good of the people. Is that an assumption that people are making? That this meeting is going to do nothing for us? And that's what a lot of people are going to assume. But I think like my father used to say, well, if you ain't got a better idea, right? If you don't have a better idea, and I'm not, this ain't specifically addressed to you, Earl. I'm saying if you're gonna criticize them and say, I'm gonna do a better meeting with more structure and established agenda and have more people there who can actually get things done. If you don't have that set up, you got to be quiet about this one and just let it ride.
I feel like if that's what you want to do, why not join forces with them brothers and make it bigger?
Teamwork make the dream work.
It ain't about competition. If we all got the same goal, it ain't about competition. It's about getting all the big heads together and making this shit happen and pushing this movement.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
collaboration.
Like if you got different people of influence across the city on the same thing, you know what I mean, with arms in the community that can, you know what I'm saying? It could be huge. Something may not come out of this meeting. It may be a whole demonstration for networking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the people that's supposed to connect at this meeting, and something happens.
There may be someone there who hears something that inspires them, and they may spark some change.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You never know how this shit works. We don't know how the universe or how God gonna give it to us. You know what I'm saying? But we just got to play our role. Whatever move your spirit. If your spirit telling you to go, go. If your spirit say, no, I don't want to go do something else productive. You know what I'm saying? That's cool too. It's just you just never know what can come out of it or how it's gonna come out of it.
Or I agree with her.
Go ahead, Orlando.
I'm trying to balance if I can get there or not, or at least see to get to part of it. Because again, there are a lot of people in the room. Networking is an opportunity, no doubt. But I think at a certain point, we all have to get to a point of like something has to change. And all the people that we can get in the room together, it's a quite impressive list of people. And also the community showing up. If we can get people in the room and let's just come up with some action plan. And I think that's what you talk about, Kay. Like, what's the structure after the after actions? And that's the thing that kind of falls short sometimes. We have a great gathering, like I'm hoping tomorrow is. But what's next and how you break this thing down? Because I think we all can agree that some got to give. Some got to give.
Well, so are we? When people come, are we registering voters there? Or do we have a resource table where people can walk in and gain access to community resources, medical care, food share, affordable housing information? Is all that stuff there? You know what I mean? Like, are you leaving with something you didn't have when you walked in?
I think that's up to the individual. It's up to I feel like that's up to the people that go. Because like I said, we don't know how something could spark out of it. It could be somebody
be available though.
Huh? Well, yeah. I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying of the individual, I'm just saying, like, everybody that go should feel like I'm going because I got an idea. I want to see if I could make this work with somebody or something. If I could make it the right connection, if I could if I could hear the right plan and help that movement, if I can, you know what I'm saying? If I could help this organization because they got this idea that I like, I just feel like if everybody needed, but you right, Kev, I'm not disagreeing with you. You know what I mean? There should be stuff there. But I really think everybody also should be going with their own objective on how they can add to it. How can I help? Anything.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, and I'm speaking more from an organization, like an organizational perspective, saying, let's make sure there's some substance there. Right. And that's just for me, and I'm not involved in organizing it, but I would say, hey, let's first of all make sure people come in and are presented. Like, that's where that agenda is, Kamar. Like, if I walk in and I'm given a piece of paper that says opening remarks, let me see who's going to talk when, and where's the spot for public, for us questions, or, are we doing breakout sessions? Are we, you know what I mean? Like, so that's just me from an organization. But once again, if people have to go down there with their mind on how can I contribute to this?
Right.
I want to see how I can contribute.
I think it would be dope for like when people do different stuff like that for unity to have an objective.
That's right. That's what I'm asking.
You know what I mean?
Is there
and like I said, and I'm not saying that they don't. I ain't made it there yet. You know,
I don't know enough either.
Going on, but I just think like that's something that we can add into it that can help bring the people together. Let them know what the objective is. Let them know what we trying to accomplish by the end of this meeting.
The moral of the story here is go into it with an open mind. Like, be positive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What can I do? It is not what your country can do for you. What can you do for your country?
I started off by saying, look, I may be a little jaded because I've wasted a lot of time in these meetings, but it wasn't wasted time. This is me saying this. It wasn't wasted time. And I didn't get up and leave. I sat there, and that's part of the issue. I sat there and listened because I was looking for something, saying, well, okay, but what are we doing after this? This feels good. Hey, brother, how you doing? Hey, man, what's good? What you? Hey, man, you still over there? Yeah, man, we still. Come on down, okay. That was all good fellowship, but I was always wanting. I need a little bit more substance, right? I need for this to be really something that turns in, because a meeting can turn into a movement, and if this is something that's going to establish a culture in our community, in which black men who want to be progressive and positive are saying, collectively, we putting a moratorium on all the bullshit. We gonna make this a cultural movement. That's some shit that I can respect, to say, okay, so this is what we doing now? That's not like what we call being on code. Are we on code now? All right, this is what we doing. That's why I was tripping when everybody was so mad at Kamala, like, well, we ain't voting for her because she ain't black. And I'm like, well, since when did we stop voting for people because they wasn't black? Like, now, if that was the agenda that we was doing the whole time yeah, that's right. I was like, wait, that's what we do. They changed up on me and didn't tell me, Kamar. Ewok said it's Messy Monday. I don't care what Orlando did or didn't do. Fuck him. It is Messy Monday. It is Messy Monday. And I did say in the beginning of the show, if you was on some bullshit or you wanted to call somebody and tell them they was on some bullshit, please hit the line 262-202-5131. Be careful what you wish for. Q Love is in Vegas. He said he meant to text his girlfriend good night and actually did accidentally text the homeboy on accident. Embarrassing as hell. Oh yeah, that if one of my homeboys hit me telling me, hey, good night, baby, or something like that, I'm hitting his dog. What's happening, dog? You trying to be funny? Yeah, that was a faux pas, Q Love. That was a bad one. Mark Ross, how you doing, my brother? Mark Ross is in the building. Make sure y'all checking out Mark Ross's podcast. He's been on the show. He's a friend of the show. He's an outlaw. How you doing, my brother? We're doing well. Mama Jenkins said, I would like to hear about solutions. Yes, Mama Jenkins, I'm in the same kind of realm. Like, okay, what's what we doing? Mariah Johnson said, people don't lead with positivity anymore. People go to some things just to say, I told you so. That was, you know what, cuz I was going to say, if you feel that skeptical about it, go to it. And if it's not something you were interested in, at least you can say, I know it wasn't for me because I went. Don't hate from the outside. What they say, you hating from outside of the club because you can't get in. Don't do that. Right? Mama Jenkins said movements in Milwaukee only last for 2 days and fade. That is the assumption. And a lot of people are expressing that. Like, why? Why should I go to this? This ain't gonna do nothing. But I just believe there's strength in numbers.
Hey,
right?
How about this thought though? Maybe like it be stuff like this to help raise the consciousness in the community. You know what I'm saying? To stuff
Could
like
be.
that. Like,
Could create
you know what I mean? It's all how you look at it too. You know what I'm saying? Like again, what you trying to get out of it? You know, it can raise the consciousness. Like people could see. I mean, and the consciousness in the community is raising. I feel like we see more black people supporting each other. We see more black people thinking about their health more. You know what I'm saying? So the consciousness is rising. So I think stuff like this is really needed for those people. You know what I mean? That's in that mode. I always talk about how everybody play a different role. Everybody got their own role in the revolution. There's many different lanes. You know what I'm saying? So you join in the lane when that's where your energy is. And that's when you ride that. And that's how it was with you, Kev. You know what I mean? You was in that lane years ago. Now your energy is elsewhere. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm into health. I like talking to people. I like helping people. I like uplifting people. You know what I mean? So like for me, I feel like that's a reason for me to go. You know what I'm saying? I like talking and uplifting shit. I like putting hope into people, bringing some hope to situations. And that's just what I'm here for. I found out. You know what I mean?
I think people have to understand too. I'm one of the most cynical son bitches you ever gonna meet. I'm sarcastic. I am smart. That's why I'm the world-class smartass. I got a smart-ass mouth. I talk shit. So I'm going to say, you ask me something, I got a reaction ready for it. Sometimes I got to sit back and listen to the show and be like, I don't know if I should have put it that way. I don't disagree with what I said. and we say I add something to it before I take it back, but it probably could have been expressed better. You know what I mean? So like I'm gonna be sarcastic and cynical about a lot of stuff. So, but a lot of that is because I've been there and done that, and I would encourage, if you don't know, go figure it out before you criticize it, right? Like, so I don't. Once again, shout out to all the brothers who go down there, man. Everybody who's gonna be at that meeting, you got my blessing, man, because I love this city and I want to get better. I did want to talk about Trump and his Washington D.C. takeover, because there's a lot of people saying this is the initial establishment of martial law, which Trump wants, because they say that Trump is going after crime in DC, but it's actually down. And I'm really not a fan of minimal statistics. So if you say crime is down by 4%, to me, that's not enough. You know what I mean? Unless you can say, hey, we got a 15% reduction in homicides. We got a 17-20% reduction in murder. To me, you just trying to spend me. I don't believe that the usage of our federal agents should be used against the citizens of the United States of America. I don't believe that Trump's shown willingness to turn us against each other is very dangerous. For you to take someone in this country and say, you work for me, you work for the government, go into the community and regulate them regular people, is super divisive. I believe that anytime you start to say, I'm going to put the National Guard in here, well, who are they guarding against? They're guarding against their peers. You're turning the American people on the American people. If you want to say I'm going to collaborate or offer the the DC Police Department some support, we're going to place some agents here and there. We're going to do some collaborative initiatives. I'm all for that. But anytime you say, I'm taking this over, the feds have taken this over. First of all, it's very dangerous, because not everybody's going to go quietly into the night. Not everybody's going to fall down and bow down. There's going to be some resistance. This is the United States of America. This is very, very, very dangerous. And aside from how I feel about Trump on other issues, I feel like this would be the main one that would be the most volatile that he could implement. When you saw what happened in California, he immediately sent the Marines in. They weren't trained for this. They weren't even organized. They was sleeping in the goddamn bus station on the floor. You are trying to occupy America with American forces. That's so divisive and so counterproductive. I don't care what party you are. You got to look at this and say, hold the fuck on, Trump. What are you doing? If I'm sitting here in Milwaukee and we're resisting something that we feel like is unjust, because first of all, the right to protest and resist is one of our American rights. So all of a sudden I look up and the United States, the military is pointing rifles at me. Bruh, that's civil war. That's dangerous. This dude is very, very dangerous. He's very dangerous. I feel like he's one of those animals who knows that he's at the end of his life. So he's just willing to take wild, mad chances. And that could lead us into some deep, deep shit. I think if we don't put an end to this somehow, some way or another, he's going to do something in this country that is going to take a very long time to repair or reverse. That's my take on this, what he's doing in DC. We have a criminal problem in Milwaukee and have had one for a very long time. I would hate to see the National Guards or the Marines in our city occupying our city. I do not want that. So I'm against what he's doing, but there's a lot of things I'm against what he's doing. But once again, this is one of those situations where I look at the people who voted for him and say, this is what the fuck you get. This is who you voted for. This is what he said he was going to do. And in your mind, it was cool. So have at it. Orlando, you are a Republican. You love Trump. Are you in favor of this takeover of DC?
I think definitely that DC got some problems, and how our criminal justice system works the wrong people get probation, and the wrong people are locked up.
What does that have to
And I
do
think-
with the federal government taking over the city, occupying the city?
So since DC has been a problem as far as how they police and how they do their judicial system, because you look at the press conference that came up today, you talk about the state's attorney general, I forget her name, but she's a judge, and she talks about how she didn't have the law to do the things necessary to remove individuals who committed these crimes in DC. DC, as you know, is a different breed because
hold on once, Orlando. Hold on. Let me bring Dion in. All right, go ahead, Orlando.
So DC is a District of Columbia, so it's a little different, jurisdictional how it's made up. It doesn't have a senator, doesn't have representatives in Congress because it's not an actual state.
Right, it's the District of Columbia.
It does fall on the purview of the federal government, so to speak. I don't know if the National Guard or having National Guard support is always the best fit. But we just talked about a few segments back on how the city and the county are trying to create a collaborative effort to address these issues. So we have to admit first and foremost that crime is an issue. We can look back and try to peel back the onion on why. So
let me stop you right there just to say there's not a city in this United States of America that doesn't have a problem with crime. So by your logic, then Trump should be able to go and take over every city, and the federal government should be entitled to go into every city and take over that city and say, y'all got a problem with crime.
Well, there's a process in place for the federal government, National Guard, from the governors to intervene. This is definitely an issue that DC is uniquely identified because the federal government does have the purview directly in that province.
Well, DC is not overrun with crime. It's not where it's anarchy. And there's some crime. Yes, there's been some issues with homicide. But you cannot justify him utilizing Americans. First of all, we pay for their services. We pay the military.
Sure.
You're gonna put them against us?
Well, collaboratively, what should be happening is a collaboration between the DC police and the federal government. They don't have a sheriff's department.
But that's not what's happening to Orlando. We're gonna talk about what he's actually doing. They are taking over. The federal government is taking over the DC police department. They're coming in saying, everything running through us now. And some of these people are elected officials, police chief, right? Commissioners. You're basically usurping their power, saying, nah, the feds got this. Y'all go sit y'all ass down. Like I don't want you to speculate on, like, I hear you when you talk about DC being a unique situation because it is a district. It is not a state. It does not have the representation that other states, quote unquote, or cities would have. It's a unique situation, but that doesn't create a situation. So you basically living off taking advantage of the weakness. I'm gonna start with the area that can't really defend itself, as far as Congress goes and the Senate goes. So you don't think at all that this is divisive to turn the United States military against the United States people?
So we've had agreements like this in place, or not let's say agreements. They're called dissent decrees that the federal government has came in and said, local police department, you have these things you must change or we will intervene and take over your.
This is not a if. This is not conditional. He's doing it. It's not. They're not saying if y'all don't get right, he's saying no, we taking this shit over. There's no. And as far as you talked about with the protocols in place from governors and whatnot to stop this, he's gone and got the Supreme Court to remove their state's rights to even put injunctions against these kinds of things.
So what I'm saying, that Kevin, that the federal government has always had the ability through the process called dissent decree, that they can say if you do not change from police brutality, from whatever the case may be, from profiling, if you do not stop this, the federal government will come in and basically control your law enforcement.
That's not what's happening here, though.
What I'm saying, this is along the lines of the same thing. And again, this is DC, but the federal government has always had the ability to create a consent decree And that's something
So
that
you won't
very well
say, you won't say, I don't care, you can do what you do. You refuse to say that this is divisive and wrong for him to turn our United States military and have them regulate against its own people. You won't even say that that's wrong. Yes
I
or
think
no?
it's wrong.
Yes or no? Because I got some other people. Yes or no?
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. No, at all. Not
Okay.
when you have a.
Okay, no, that's it. That's it.
Dion,
Dion, you on the line. What you think about this?
I feel what you just said, Kevin. You know what I'm saying? It's basically experimental. Like you said, it's a step to creating martial law. And he's going to use DC as experiment. And if he see how I work on that. But the thing about it is, I was just looking at it, he's allowed to do that within his power. But they only allowed to do that for 30 days. Because the mayor was talking about it. She was on there. She's beautiful, too. She was on there talking about it. And she was like, well, we really don't want him here, but, that's within his right.
Right.
Yeah, for 30 days.
He can do it.
Like,
it's the effect. Like he said, there is a such thing called the
I try to
decree.
Avoid him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he could do it. So, but by and large, what this does is this gives him a right to decide when, if he want to go into a place and say the crime is out of control, and it's really not, he can do it. So I don't have to wait. Ain't no if. It's not. Hey, we got this. Y'all fall back. Let me see. Mama Jenkins was talking about she was referring to the meeting. I keep saying the meeting. I got to say the right name for it. The state of emergency. And she said, I just think we need economic development. You know what, Mama Jenkins? That's where my head is too. Like if there was a meeting in which there would be, maybe some CEOs or some VPs or some major corporations, and they came into our community to say, hey, we want to meet because we want to talk about possibly building here. And we want the support of those people so we can come in because we want to bring jobs. We want to bring development, economic development. Then I say, I'm going to that shit, Kamar. I'm calling ahead saying, hey, I want to be down there for that because I want to hear that. I've never heard that conversation. At all the meetings I went to, there was very little discussion about economic development or very few plans that were solid. Earl Henning said, want to be king, fuck Donald Trump and the people kissing the ring. Ernest Walker says, that's why you shouldn't defend Orlando. He thinks Trump should be in power. I don't have to. Orlando is a grown man. I do not have to defend him. I just don't hate him singularly because he votes for Trump or he's a Republican. I don't have to defend him.
Hey, he probably talking about me. He probably talking about me defending him because I always be saying Orlando ain't saying nothing to nobody, but here everybody is calling them names. So he probably talking about me defending him. But shit, Ewok, I'd defend you too if I saw the shit being happen to you. I'd do the same for you, homie.
I thought I missed that. You're right, Kamar. Thank you for that context. I surely missed it.
I remember a time when and I just did a video about this too, man. I remember a time when you could be like, hey, hold on, homie, that's my guy over here. Let's freeze that shit. And they will freeze that shit. That you said, let's freeze that shit.
You vouch for him? You vouch for him?
Yeah. Whatever happened to that? Like, we can't even get that just for the show. If you see him somewhere, say what the fuck you want to say. But I mean,
you say what the fuck you want to say to him on here. I don't take up for grown men. Like, you leave him alone. And he didn't say I did either. Let's make that point. Right. I'm just saying Orlando knows when you come on a show like this and you say you are supporting Donald Trump in basically implementing martial law, your ass should be ready to receive some backlash because you're gonna get it. What you call it? Occupational motherfucking hazard. So Orlando know what he's chewing, right? He ain't oblivious to it. He's been doing this a while. Earl Henny said foolish and stupid. Brenda Peterson said, I encourage people to watch the DC mayor's press conference. I seen Scott Epicet sent me snippets of it. He sent it when we was getting ready to get on the air. I didn't watch her whole deal. I got to watch it. Mama Jenkins said, what the hell is wrong with Orlando? He know what Trump is doing is wrong. Mariah Johnson said he can never answer yes or no question. Mama Jenkins said he wants communists. He wants communists. And Ewok said, K Bull, I feel you. He said, I feel you. So let me tap it down. Let me tap it down. So I don't know, Kamar. I don't know how you feel about this whole, like, I feel like, so if I think maybe there's some parallels between the statistics criminally with Milwaukee and DC, perhaps, right? And so that means Trump could basically come here and say, yo, I'm putting the National Guard and the Marines or the Marines on the street. I won't feel protected by that. I feel like that makes the situation worse. It makes it more volatile. You know,
like you too.
If states have rights, then we should have the right to say we're cool. It should be a situation where the state or the city cries out and says, look, we need some help, y'all. Somebody come help us. Other than that, you just sticking your nose in somebody else's business. From what I see, what he wants to eradicate is states' rights. He wants to dismantle everything and privatize everything else, because what's going to happen next is you're going to go after the DC police and do what? Hire private. You want to privatize law enforcement? They're not good enough. We're going to create a federal privatized security force, which is like what they call it, BlackRock. And so who knows what they're going to be doing? His agenda, his whole agenda is divisive and counterproductive. Go ahead.
So my question is, when the consent decrees happen, when the federal government steps in to regulate a local, force, be it a city, be it a police force, be it an administration, from, the health department here in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, with the lead pipes. If a consent decree came, how is it, how is that bad when Donald Trump is doing it? But if it was Joe Biden saying, I'm the
stop right there. Stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. Don't do that, because if Biden was doing what he's doing, he get the same fucking criticism. You're talking to somebody who don't play. I don't play partisan politics. And secondly, you keep saying if there is no dissent decree here, this is him taking over a city. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even want to. He doesn't even want to go by any kind of rules or structure that's in place. That's what he exists to do, is dismantle this shit. So you can't stop saying what he could be or what could be happening. You're not talking about what he actually is doing. He's not honoring none of that.
Okay, you don't have to do that in DC. DC, as you said, is a special case that he can do that without having a dissent decree. What I'm trying to ask you, the question, do you support dissent decrees? Basically, that's what I'm asking you. No matter who comes from, be it Joe Biden or Donald Trump, do you support dissent decrees when the federal government just step in? Because if that's the case, remember how,
why are you deflecting? Why are you asking me, do I support dissent decrees? I don't support any politician implementing martial law in no fucking city. I don't care if Martin Luther King Jr. was president. I would say Martin wrong for that shit. I don't care if Joe Biden is president. He'd be wrong for it. It doesn't happen. When the last time you seen the United States, how come it's not, if the federal government is taking over law enforcement, they're going to initiate, what are their policies going to be to regulate the city? Everybody off the street by 9 o'clock. That's fucking martial law.
Okay. We just talked about jurisdiction, boundaries, and the balance of government, right, and power. In DC, as the mayor said, he has the authority to do that. He does not have that authority in any other of the states to do that.
He could do that if he wanted to do that in Milwaukee. He'd do it. If he wants to do it in Detroit, he would do it. He don't care about what laws have existed before this. He's gonna do what he wants to do.
When you call this politics, but I'm giving you case, study.
You don't give me. I don't need you to give me no case study. You're not my professor. You're not my professor. You don't give me anything. You don't give me no case study. You don't give me none of that, because the first thing you tried to do was unbalance the scales by throwing Biden. Every fucking Republican that you ever question about something that Donald Trump is doing wants to bring up Biden. Biden is not Black Jesus. Biden was not Black Jesus. We were not in love with Biden. We didn't go along to get along when Biden was president. His ass got criticized too. So you got to save. You have this talk with a card carrying Democrat. That's what you do. I'm not one of them. So don't reference Biden no more.
Let's have the question of the powers of the seat. Is that to keep the conversation moving forward?
No, we don't need to do that because it was a yes or no question. You turned it into a dance when it was only really just a short two-step. Because what you're doing is you're trying to deflect and you're trying to make a reason to justify what he's doing because you identify with the Republican Party, and there is you can't turn around after I've said I don't support and say, but Kevin, what if you're telling me you don't support this? No, so say I say I don't support consent decrees. Fuck them. I don't support that either.
So again, let's talk about the powers. Let's take the partisan policies. Let's talk about the powers and authorities of the seat. Of the seat, you call, and much love to Brother Former, of the movement. He was the chief because he had a seat, and as that
brother who
he had a Rick.
You know what? I tell you what. He wasn't anointed by God to do anything unjust.
What I'm saying,
and if he did something that was wrong, my affiliation to the cause and to the party wouldn't have said to him, well, you get to do it because you got the power to do it. Wrong is wrong. Just because you can do something don't mean you should.
The Constitution gives Trump or the president, whomever the president is, the ability to do that in D.C. On the national level, a president, regardless of a party cast, they have the ability to dissent decree.
You don't have to keep saying that. And you're the one who brought parties up. You said that. We heard you say consent decrees. We know that there's a process in which if a city is overrun and there's a need for the law, if they prove to be too corrupt or ineffective, there's a process by which the federal government can come in and take over. That's not what's happening here. I need for you to stop bringing the same shit up over and over.
So what I'm giving you are parallels.
You can't. You're not giving me a parallel. It's not an effective one.
In DC, he doesn't have to do that. The person, the president, whomever it is, has that already built in because D.C. is not a state. So they have the ability to say, we're taking this out.
All right, man. Ewok says Orlando wants to be a slave. Earl Henning says, where do you find these black people at? Kiss the ring. Listen, man. I'm not, look, he don't agree with me, but I'm not going to tell him I hate him or I want him to die. He got the right. All he can't do is spin me, though. You're not going to do that. And it's the typical Republican argument, and you're not the only Republican that I've spoken with about policy of Donald Trump or behaviors of Donald Trump. The first thing that, as a matter of fact, what was the parish out in Colorado who was low key a Trump supporter but posing as a Democrat and would come on the show and try to
Kamala.
And he would try and spin us because every time we would say, well, hell, Trump just got convicted of 34 felonies. We don't believe he should have even been able to run. Well, Biden did some wrong shit too. What the fuck does one have to do with the other? If Biden had 34 felonies, I would call him on it, and many other people would. When you start drinking the Kool-Aid, you become so blinded by facts and reality that all you want to do is deflect and try to throw some other shit out here in the pot that you hope maybe I don't understand or people who are listening to the show don't comprehend. So, he got me. You got me in a trick bag. No, Orlando, I'm telling you, that it can't happen over here. It don't happen over here.
What I'm saying is very clearly, there has been the power in the seat.
God damn it. I'm about to hang up on you, Orlando. Don't say that shit no more. This is like Harlem Nights when dudes shooting that little ass gun. Don't shoot that little motherfucker no more. Don't say consent decree and don't say the power of the seat. That's saying because he's the president, he can do whatever he want to do. And God damn it, he can't.
We just saying it's been morally. Morally, is it right? Yes or no?
It is absolutely correct. It is absolutely correct. When you have a defunct government and
DC is not defunct. It's not overrun with crime. What are you talking about?
I guess that's in the beholder's eye. I guess that's
it's true. It's not even the murder capital of the country. By your logic, he can go to Detroit, he can go to Los Angeles, he can go to New York and say this is my shit.
No, you can't do that. No, you can't. You have to have no, you can't do
that. He can and he will if he wants to. He's proven that he does what he wants to do. even if it's wrong, even if it violates a policy that was put in place to prevent it from doing it, he's done it. That's what he's showing as the president. I don't give a shit. I do what I want to do.
So
if you can't at least admit that, then you are blind.
Well, I can admit that every president does what they want to do.
See, there you go. Everyone. There's a deflection. Every president do bad. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? You know what? Let's talk about something else. Listen, unless somebody else got something to say, and we don't have to disrespect each other. I don't have to call Orlando no names. I just disagree with him. And we can still chop it up, but we ain't never going on that, Orlando. You know me. You know I ain't riding on that with you. But I did want to close out the show by saying, Cuzzo said, come on, I looked at this BET thing, the cancellation of the BET Awards and the Soul Train Awards, and nobody really knows what the cause was or what the reasoning behind it is. I've even heard some people say they want to try to make it more of a streaming thing, and take advantage of streaming. And then I seen Fat Joe, who they call Cap Joe right now. If you know, you know. Fat Joe said when he was 8 years old, he robbed a gym with 70 people in it, and nobody did anything. And then he was having so much trouble carrying the stuff he stole. He made some of them help them carry their own shit out. He made them help.
Ain't that crazy though?
Right.
He's a lying ass
He came
nigga.
out and said he was from. There's truth to the fact that he was from a project in the Bronx that was known for 5%ers, and he said that he was a 5%er and his name was Almighty Crackgala X or some shit. Like he was Crack King. Like so, he said that it was canceled because of gentrification, which is pretty much an asinine statement. I don't know what that means. But I did see something I put in the People's News Network to say that they were concerned because the lack of new talent in hip hop music, right? So is this finally when corporate America says we are done with hip hop, we're going to pull the plug on it. We know that hip hop has always been a bastard child of corporate America. They've never liked it. They've never appreciated it, but they've always dealt with it. They've always utilized it for the commercial aspect of it because it's a $1 billion industry, and a lot of them got a whole lot more money out of this than we have. So is this corporate America saying, you know what, we cool on this? And if so, do you really? I feel like that if corporate America abandons it, it'll go back to its fundamentals. It'll go back to the people who should be in control of it, the people who created it, which is us. It'll get its soul back. We did a show last week called Who Stole the Soul? Now, is there the young infusion of talent? Is there young, hungry, talented hip-hop artists? I believe there are, but they don't get the promotion. They don't get the promotion. If you look at the XXL freshman cover that they put up that's become kind of this, all of the best of the youngsters coming in, look at these people who they have on there. Like these aren't rappers who are coming in, bringing awareness, creating cultural revolutions, cultural movements, self-improvement. These are individuals who are playing along with the string of drugs, death, violence, incarceration, exploitation, objectification. That's what our culture has kind of dwindled down to. And so a lot of us had issues with what the BET Awards had become, or Hip Hop Awards had become, and what the Soul Train Awards had become. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to the point where for me, it's unwatchable. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot, and I'm not a fan of award shows, but there's been some award shows. I say, okay, let me check out so-and-so's performance. Are they doing a tribute to this person or that person? These award shows for me had become unwatchable because I just looked at it like a bastardization of hip hop. I'm old enough to remember hip hop in its essence and what it actually meant in terms of that creative cultural epicenter that was established by hip hop. And I'm not mad to see corporate America let it go. I'm not, because I'm tired of watered down, disillusioned, misguided, uninformative hip hop music. It's a slap in my face every time I hear some bullshit on the radio and they telling me, no, this is a hit. This is a hit. And I'm like, this is fucking trash. So it might not be such a bad thing. What I keep saying is our black billionaires act now. Go buy the shit from them. And we don't have to depend on them anymore to do what we need to do to acknowledge our contributions to culture and art in this country. Because one thing is for sure, they're not going to give us the credit we deserve. The Grammys, the American Music Awards, look, Beyonce just destroyed country music. She ain't got one award from them. And they don't even want her there. Right? So we need to be rewarding ourselves if we're going to do that. That's I'm not upset. This whole dismissal of those two shows are like the 17-year-old who crashed into the building and burned. It's hard for me to feel sorry for the culture of hip hop right now because of the messages that they are voluntarily displaying. Listen to some of this young rap. Listen to some of it. Listen to it objectively. Right? Not to say, well, it ain't Rakim, it ain't BDP, it ain't Tupac. No, just listen to it to say, okay, I want to see if this is creative or not. If you are of a mature, emotionally mature, politically aware state of mind, you're going to say, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. That's kind of like my statement on it, y'all. And it's 10:17. So we'll be back Wednesday. Kamar, I want you to get an OG moment together for us. I did make a mistake the other night when I was talking about the young sister who's criticizing Martin for how he treated Pam. I said that it was Doechii. It wasn't her. It was another young sister. So I made an error in that. So for the purpose of journalistic integrity, it wasn't. Doechii is still a very weird young lady. I didn't lie about the fact that she says she refuses to date a man if he's a heterosexual. She prefers bisexual men. She celebrates the usage of cocaine and pills and this kind of debauchery. I wasn't wrong on that, but she wasn't the one who criticized Martin. So
that's terrible.
So yeah, that's my bad. Come on, hit us with an OG moment. You muted.
Real OGs know if your ego is easily offended, then your emotions are probably easily manipulated. Stop me when I'm lying.
Be the change you want to see. Go to the meeting tomorrow. Check it out, man. Learn something. If nothing else, you can say, I tried, right? You're going to miss every shot that you don't take. Guaranteed. Peace and love, man. I'll see y'all Wednesday, man. Outlaws for life. Shout out to Dion. Shout out to Orlando. Shout out to Ewok. Shout out to Mama Jenkins. Shout out to everybody, man. Peace and love.
Peace, y'all.
All right, bro.